Alrighty then, we should be live. Yeah, excellent connection. Just what you want to see. And second screen up and running momentarily. Hopefully. There we go. Marvellous. Just give it a little bit of time. We're a couple of minutes early on the start, but that's no problem. Hello, Jasdeep. And Owen. Nice to have you around. And hey, Calvin. So I guess we may as well load in pretty quickly, actually, because the second screen hasn't taken too long to actually fire into life. And hey, Mikey. So we shall, load in and see what the state of play is here. I'm pretty good, Jasdeep. Went out to watch the Champions League last night. Thumping 5-0 victory. So that's very nice. And just in general, my timetable is actually taking shape now. So I can actually, really start to nail down when and where I'm going to do certain things. I think next week, depending upon what day the weather is, the Wednesday stream might happen on Tuesday instead. But I think the primary plan is that I'm going to be doing practical work on the Tuesday, in which case the streams will just be on the Wednesday and the Thursday next week as per the usual. So won't need to juggle things around too much. Anyway. Let's have a look here. So, we have some money, and we still hold on here. There's a lot of Mordor armies around here, but Minas Tirith is such an awkward city to take, and this army is good enough, I think, with the quality that we have in there, that we should be able to hold on regardless. We're also currently building an armory. We also have that ballista. I think Minas Tirith's towers work in Divide and Conquer. They're not ballista towers, I don't think, but that's still something that we can use. But honestly, the terrain of Minas Tirith as they go up the layers is probably what we want to be exploiting to its fullest there, more so than the defensive buildings. As I was going to say last time as well, we have Gimmelcard moving forward, whose army is okay. There's a couple of Ar-Adunaim units in there. One is heavily depleted. I think that's the same unit of Narduzagar we've had since the start of the game, or one of, possibly. No, I don't think so, actually. But even so, upgraded nicely. Fanuilond here has decided that it wants to go on to military build policy, which is not what it shall be doing. We shall do growth, because that's what keeps the people happy. Could get these in there as well as these. I'm tempted to actually put these onto the boat so that we can potentially go across and reinforce Minas Tirith. What are the goals for today's stream? Well, to just keep pushing back against Mordor, really. I'm not sure how far we will make it in the allotted time, because of course going through Mordor's territories is quite a long road. I mean, geographically it doesn't look like a long way between Minas Tirith and Barad-dûr, but any Gondor or Mordor campaign will reveal that pretty much that is the primary focus of your campaigns from the get-go, and we're having to do it from now. One thing that I do want to do is... where are they? We have this bunch here, which we're going to distribute around our settlements. There's this guy who's probably going to try and blockade AR-PHARAZON, but he will be sorely disappointed by what he finds there. Right, so they can get in there. Just a bit of extra solidity. We've got a garrison, I think, which will give us 4 extra units should we get attacked, and so far Harad has elected not to turn on us. Who are your allies? The only ally I have is Harad. So yeah, enemies, Enidwaith and Mordor, and the Independent Realms, obviously. But Khand, I have a feeling, will probably declare war upon us at some point. The thing is, that is a Khandish. I thought that was Mordor's eye symbol then, but it's not. It's the Khandish star or sun. But yeah, Khand may declare war on us, but what I'm hoping for actually is Harad and Khand to declare war on one another, because that will tie up Khand and make it so that we don't get attacked by them. Harad it's almost like a de facto vassalization when it comes to Harad, to be honest with you, because I've basically taken the very heart of their realm, and ever since they've behaved themselves. I might try and do the same with Enedwaith if I can. But I'm actually quite content to just sort of sit here and wait as it pertains to Enedwaith, because while I could take Tharagondost over here, it really would serve exactly the same purpose as Anulond, albeit the choke point is probably a little bit better. So if we can do that, we will, but we're not going to push up this way because it just opens us up to all sorts of nonsense involving Rohan and Dunland. We still have our spy there. This is just a bunch of really scattered stacks. The only thing is like, I would like them to assault this settlement, because if we sally out for some reason we don't get our garrison forces, which would be enough to make us auto-resolve this with relative ease. Hello, George. And also something else that I want to do is Gimmelthon over here. He is just sort of chilling in Lond Galen, but we've got other generals on the way up which can look after that settlement instead soon. And then I will put him on a boat and send him in this general direction, so that we can start giving him an army too. And I intend to make his army very much ranged focused, hopefully with Nardubawib and crossbows and the like. Speaking of which, shouldn't we already be able to build Nardubawib? Or have we already sent some of them forward? Well, regardless, we shall start with some marines. Some standard crossbows as well, because I think what we'll try and do with him as well, once we have like Gimmelthon, who has got he'll have like a pretty good stack as well. I want him to have a decently high quality army, and we'll drop him off over on this side of the river, probably go after this settlement, because we won't be able to move too far forward with this army, because for a start it's not actually that great, but also we'll be really opening ourselves up to some problems with Khand, I think. So we'll just take this settlement and then use it as a defensive buffer. Hello, Monkey's Baboon. Did I miss people arriving? Probably. As I was... Right, also, to be honest with you, we don't need this many ships anymore. It's just eating into our slots that we could do. The only reason we'd need a fleet of this magnitude is if we were going after the High Elves, and we're not going to be doing that. If we do, it'll be sort of like the capstone of the campaign, where we just have one last battle for like Mithlond or something. But we don't need this many for now, and it's just eating into our valuable resources. Mordor do not have ships after all, so we're going to disband a healthy portion of our Balu Khazgar ships. They don't have any chevrons on them anyway. The only one that has chevrons is the Admiral himself. And to be honest with you, yeah, we will actually get rid of these two as well. We do still have Enedwaith obviously buzzing around with their ships, but they're just not good enough to beat ours. We could do with retraining those, I suppose. Let's go this way with you. Just keep an eye on the trade routes. And I think, yep, 2 ballastae. Nothing in there. Yes, Nardubawib. You're actually going to stay behind. You 3 will move forward next turn, but you 2 Abrazanim units will wait back here, because you are destined to go in Gimmelthon's army, I think. Now then. This was like mid-turn, so we do actually have things that we can do. And actually, one thing that we can do right away, I've noticed, is we can actually, not with everybody, but with, okay, so not with those seaward spears, but we can reinforce this assault to the point where hopefully it will be an auto-resolve, because this settlement is a bit of a pig to try and take. Yep. And Gimel Card can get in there as well. And then we can move this lot up, including the catapult. Maybe we could just siege it down. Right. Gimel Zor for a start. We are going to... What have they got in there? They do have Lamlug the Fearless, as well as a few Black Uruks, and it's a large encampment with an Orc upgrade. Yeah, that is going to be small fry for us. So yeah, we're going to assault Karasast immediately. And we will. That's actually a lot of stars on this guy, so he must have been alive for quite some time, facing off against the Gondorians. So we'll fight it on the battle map.
Muster your courage, men. We march into battle.
Very high medieval theme there. Interesting representation of Dol Amroth. Right, second screen, is that still on? Yes, it is. Okay, yeah, so this very familiar settlement back from the Lothlorien campaign, and this time around, of course, it's going to be really rather easy because they do not have any ranged units. Any garrison forces they have will be Orc defenders that are of exceedingly low quality. If they do want to sally out as well, we've got everything we need to be dealing with them. This is actually a really nice army as well. Not quite as nice as the one that we sent ahead to Minas Tirith, but nice nonetheless. In fact, you know what? You can probably be a part of this as well, because you are, after all, a line infantry general. Wish Prince Imrahil was in the movies. Yeah, it's an interesting omission, that one, because he was like a significant part. Like he basically had as big a role as Eomer, didn't he, in the book? So it's a little bit odd that he wasn't involved at all, really. But such is the way of things. Right, this is our shock infantry wing, which we probably won't be using all that much in this battle, to be honest with you, because there's no real need for it, and they are a little bit fragile after all. Halberdiers might see some use, however, depending upon what the Orcs do with their own halberds. But the most important contingent is going to be our ranged corps, and our seaward spears are going to just hang out here, I guess. Just going to have a little look over the army. So we've got 2 levels of armour upgrade on the Rosadans. I don't think the Azrazair actually get any sort of visual upgrade, but this here is something that I really do quite like. The upgrade for the Abrazanim gives them a heavier look, less suited for the dusty badlands in the south and more so for campaigning in Gondor. And the seaward spears, looking very nice indeed. So we've also got the Narun Aru Royal Guard. Actually, these two can be in a group as well, because may as well, they're spears, right? Don't think that the garrisons will have anything as it pertains to cavalry. We'll see. Right, you go there. You go there. Not the most damaging unit that at range, the Rosadan Bowmen, but they'll do the job here. Can you maybe not march right in front of the ballista? I imagine they have garrison troops here. Yeah, those look like Orc defenders, which are rubbish, to be honest with you. The main thing to try and focus down here are the Black Uruk halberds, because they are actually better than our Rosadans, marginally. But they are a whole tier higher, so you'd expect that. But the Black Uruk infantry is not as good as the Abrazanim nor the Gondor infantry, so we have them outclassed in that regard, as you would expect, given the heavy infantry nature of our faction. They look really nice as well. Upgrading those models. And then, of course, the classic Gondorian plate as well. Nice to have the choice between swordsman and... Actually, you may as well get a little bit closer, to be honest. Not entirely convinced you're shooting in all too convincing a fashion. But yes, we have a good opportunity here to take this settlement with relatively little in terms of casualties. We will take... It won't be like a 0 losses kind of battle, this, I don't think, because we can't kill all of them at range. But we can definitely make a fairly substantial dent, especially if they elect not to try and move forwards. You can just move over here in case they somehow do. Yes, they do, George. That's one of the reasons why I was also quite keen to start in the south, because Dol Amroth and Gondor are the only forces that actually get like the palette swap, where their colours and their heraldry actively change when the Ar-Adunaim recruit their units, whereas with everyone else, it's the same. It would be, I think it would be a fair shout if maybe Bree and the Northern Dunedain that applied to as well. If only because it still represents a part of an old Númenorian-led kingdom. But I think actually the Northern Dunedain, they actually cannot... you can't recruit their units, can you? I think they're the one human faction that you can't actually recruit the units of. What are you doing? Move forwards a little bit more than that, if you please. Don't know if we actually have the range now that I come to think of it. Go over there. But yeah, victory is fairly inevitable in a battle like this, but an army like this is also the sort of reinforcement column we'll need to deal with those Mordor armies, which is why I'm being a little bit more details intensive than I normally am. Knock down that gate. Playing as the Orcs, this is one of the main problems that you have, of course, the fact that all of your settlements ultimately become something along these lines, which is not going to be the case in version 5, I hear. They are going to change it so that you don't actively make your settlements worse as you upgrade them if you capture them from other culture groups, which I think is certainly fair enough. Right, can we actually hit them? Not quite. I think, did they... I mean, the AI has moved the Halberdiers back to the TC, which is wise. But we can move you lot in here. That shouldn't take too long. Right. We don't want to send our shock infantry in there, I don't think, because it's not really the ideal climate for them to thrive. Hey there, Ricky. Nice to have you here. We will... Halberdiers and line infantry, I think, are the ones we'll send forward, sort of match Mordor up in that regard. Cavalry is unlikely to be much of a use, but we'll send it over there just in case they do decide to try and come outside. Going after the Orc defenders with archers might not be the worst thing, because while they are easily the worst of Mordor's units that are here, you do at least have the allure of practically guaranteed kills. There's the Uruk bodyguard. Fairly sturdy gate that the Orcs have laid on for us. These settlements always tend to have very open areas outside of them as well. Good for sallying out with cavalry. It's just a shame that when you're the Orcs you don't really have need for cavalry. Right, we are in range there. Interesting to see if they do come outside. As long as it's not Halberdiers, it would actually be pretty good if they did. Almost used up our entire stock of ballista ammunition there. Can you... are you in range? You are not, sadly. Okay. I'll tell you what then, you probably best off moving back round here if you're not going to be in range from that side. Right, come on. Finally. Now then. Let's move them forwards. The Marines can get ready because we will be utilising them. And then melee wise, Gimmelzor is going to be better than a standard Uruk bodyguard, AP or no. Okay. Black Uruk halberds. Okay. Yeah, see what you can do here. You just wait here. Finally got to watching all the streams, loving them. Glad to hear that. Are they going to come out this way? It looks like they actually are. Interesting. Okay. With such news, we'll move you there. We'll get everyone in V formation. And just move you forwards like so. Perhaps a good opportunity to utilise some cavalry. Not a huge amount of... Well, there's considering they're not the most damaging unit in the world, they're also leading the way with their Orc defenders, who really should be absolute cannon fodder under a cavalry charge. Let's see. It's good they don't have archers, because it means that we're not pressured into moving forward. We can just do so pretty much entirely at our own pace. Right, and we can... There's a decent shot there. And for you, put you there like so. Still not in range? That's surprising. When assaulting a settlement like this, I guess I got used to the comfy life of using Lothlorien's archers. And yeah, it is interesting to see what they're going to try and do. I imagine they might move outside, which is why I might just pop them onto fire at will. You can be in reserve. And... okay, they're going to move backwards again. That's a little bit frustrating. I just want to be efficient. I'm not giving you the satisfaction of killing more of my men than is absolutely necessary. What is that? Black Uruk halberds? Be nice if we could get to grips with them again. We can try and shoot them. You don't have the most ammo left. They're thinking of moving forward again now. Yeah, you just go after them, why not? I'm going to try and move outside with Black Uruks. And you. Okay, yeah, they're going to move forward. Which is actually something I'm fairly okay with, to be honest. Good opportunity to use some Marines. There we go. Crispy Orcs. Javelin boys, getting some good damage done there. Okay. Yeah, this is going to go pretty well indeed. Still have a good shot? No, I guess the angle isn't quite right for them now. Doesn't matter too much. Balance of forces is evenly matched. Okay, get in there then. Evenly matched. Unacceptable behaviour. Right. You can move backwards. Yeah, they're going to go back inside. Hey there, Fallen. Go for the Numenorian war cry. Just to see if they won't rout. They didn't actually. I guess Black Uruks are made of slightly sterner stuff. Yeah, sure. Take a few more pot shots into them. They are going after the cav after all. Yeah, they are leaving the vicinity rather rapidly. Okay. Push on in. And you do the same.
The enemy's walls belong to us now.
Flood inside, get some more archers in there. Yeah. Take some shots at them. Still going after the cav, which is interesting. Ah. Hey there, default. We are the elite. Yes, well, the elite needs to be inside the settlement right now. So do you, actually. No halberds, which is nice to see. Where are they going? Into the wilderness, it seems. All too happy to allow them to do that. I guess we should probably, just in case, think about... in case the Black Uruk halberds decide to push forward like that. Okay. Right then. So you are already here, so you can get into place there. You get into place there. Ar-Adunaim, good to have back up there because that's more AP. You, I guess, can go over here. You there. You wait there. That should be good enough. Now, for crying out loud. Out of range of the halberds. Lost a couple of cavalry units there, which is unfortunate. Relentless as the halberdiers are. Got infantry on hand now, just in case, anyway. Hey there, Senation. They are in place. Over here would be the best place for you, wouldn't it? Marines are going to be moving around the side, I think with the Gondor infantry just to cover them. Yes, I like this. This is good positioning. You can go there. Gondor infantry can be sort of our backup position there. Black Uruk halberds definitely need to be the target for you. Not much. This is the first battle of the stream. It's been sort of a fairly slow burn of a battle at that. Oh. Okay, enough of this. We're going to need to utilise our shock infantry to deal with this. Right then. Gondor infantry. And you around there like that. Uruk bodyguard is still not all that keen on getting into battle.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Yeah, that's good. Black Uruk halberds, victory is a distinct possibility for them, but not for much longer. Especially not when we... oh, no. You need to stay in melee with them, absolutely. Just get them into melee, they're out of ammo anyway, and that should help break things up. Nice and quick. Right, you go up and around the back here. And you go there.
The enemy are badly bloodied.
Don't know if our javelins will even get the chance. Well, probably. The Uruk bodyguard are... Uruk bodyguard are not to be taken too lightly. What's that? Black Uruks? Trash is what they are, and they're already running for the hills. Fire at them. Building captured. Just use your javelins on them then. Right, that was good. This campaign has been going really well for you. I mean, in the later stages of it, yes. Right. No. Come on, keep moving. Don't get stuck. Really eager on catching this unit out in particular, which is fairly annoying. Okay, that should be enough to... What's going on here with them? How are they taking... Wow, that's a ton of losses. How's that happening? Your bodyguard are not that good. It might be friendly fire, actually, from the javelins. Which is a little bit awkward. Oh, yeah, could you... That's a little bit unfortunate. Right. You need to show a little bit more urgency. And those halberdiers should fall and perish. Let's see them go there. Yeah, you need to get into melee as well. This is going to be another one of those situations where, because like one or two of my marines are in there, they probably will refuse to fire. That was a ton of damage they took there. Has Erebor the goat cab intact? No, they don't, and they never will. Right. Shoot at them. Are we indeed? Yes, we are. Okay. Those Black Uruks are not doing all that well, so let's squash them. Right, go after them. Ar-Adunaim armsmen. This should be sufficient, I would imagine. Good. Took more damage than I would have liked on that unit of Marines, but no matter. They're decent in melee as well, which is why I just really quite like them. Available right from the start as well. You've already taken too much damage for my taste, so you can actually pull back. They're not going to last much longer, nor are the halberds. Right, and Uruk bodyguard. Okay, let's make it so that you're not firing anymore. We'll get some Nadu Tariq around here, just to hasten their demise a bit. Shouldn't take too much longer, to be honest.
Good tidings. The enemy general lies dead. Be awed by the victory we have won here today.
195 losses. Yeah, the balance of power is such that's probably a little bit better than we would have got had we auto-resolved that. And that gives us Karasast, so we now have a clear road to Minas Tirith. It's a fairly long one, so reinforcements will still be slower to get there from our sort of primary recruitment hub, which is around the mouth of the Anduin and Dol Amroth. I am interested to see if Mord will actually try to assault Minas Tirith, to be honest, because they seem reluctant to do it, which perhaps is a result of our... Right, yeah, we need to exterminate the populace. And we shall repair the encampment, which is an unfortunate situation to be in there. We've already got an armory in there, which is fairly neat. So... if we've already got an armory, actually, that means I definitely just want to build the Dark Sanctuary immediately. Right, they can... Right, so you cannot make it. You can. The rest of you can't, so you shall go there. You will embark, and the ships will begin making their way up here. It's better reinforcements than nothing at all. Right, we're just going to keep sieging this one because if I recall, yeah, there's temple wards in here. This army is not the best. Hey there, Darth Cyclone. I'm doing pretty well. But yeah, like assaulting that settlement will be fairly costly for us because it is a castle and they have 3 archers which are better than ours and they have a unit of temple wards. If we siege them down and they have to come and get us, however, I feel confident in the ability of my army to help maneuver them and we should be okay. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. Baradhan is a place where we definitely need more of a garrison. And Tolfal, or Balakath I should say now, is a place where we should be building some Abrazanim Nadubawib, certainly, because that will form up part of Gimmelthon's army eventually. So there's a lot to sort of consider here all of a sudden. Right, we can begin to think about recruiting units here eventually. Hopefully Enid White, I mean we've still got 6 turns until surrender, so hopefully by that point they will have decided or elected to try and assault us. Can we actually get away with moving these out of Kalambal? We can, okay. So we'll have 4 more spears on the way as well, which won't take 6 turns to arrive, and as soon as they arrive we can sally out if they're still trying to play that silly game. Right, before we move into another battle, we should save it after every battle now, because there's a lot going on the map. I believe there should be an auto-resolve with Gimmelcard there. 7-3. Yeah, clear victory. Lost quite a few actually in that first army, but it's one of those awkward settlements. Like I said, if we attacked it as we did last time, there's definitely the possibility of something going horribly wrong. This army, so we do actually need to think about continuously trying to merge units where we can. And getting rid of any that are surplus to requirements. We can't retrain you anymore, but I kind of like the idea of having some Southrons in tow. Yes. Gimmelcard's army, which is just a little force that he's just rolling with at the moment. Okay. So again, after every battle, I've got to save it, just in case. So... yeah, Gabel Merlond is actually quite... I think, actually, we can get away with moving this lot forwards onto the front line to meet up with this army, because I don't think, even if Harad do declare war, this is a fairly unlikely avenue for invasion. Like, this is... because of how valuable it is, I would imagine they're going to immediately try and retake their capital. They should do. I'm willing to take the risk anyway, so we'll leave Merlond a little bit undefended. This little force can meet up with this army over here, and we should be good to go. Have you done the campaign for Rune? I find them really interesting and love their armour. No, Rune was one of the options for the campaign that we're doing at the moment. It was a lot of, basically all of the evil man factions. And the Ar-Adunaim won by a fairly large distance, to be honest, so it had to be done. Right, I'm just wondering if there's anything we can actually build around here that would be useful building-wise. That isn't really that useful. Nor is any of this, if I'm being brutally honest. Like, these are not the quality of skirmishers that we want to be building at this stage in the game. Rosedans. I mean, we do need some infantry as well, but all of the good infantry in that place has already been used up, as is the case here. It's not the case here, to be fair. We could do with some good swordsmen. So yeah, we'll go for that. We'll also probably embark these 2 upgraded Rosedans with Gimmelthon as well. That's a fairly beefy army with some reinforcements just outside of it. Okay. We shall pass the turn and see what occurs, I think. Already repaired the buildings in Karasast, Kelvin. Or at least, you know, they're on the way to being repaired at the very least. So really, like, the bulk of Gondor is now our territory. The only places we don't own are Calenhad, the Osgiliaths, and Caer Andros. Because Tirithoros starts off as a neutral region, I think. Okay, so they're going to try and siege it down. I actually prefer that, because it means that we can make use of the settlement a little bit more, and those reinforcements will come in. Ooh. Interesting. What sort of battle is this? Okay, so we've got a lot of Rosedans, halberds, bowmen. We've got a good front line and range support. That is cavalry, javelins. It's a little bit awkward, I have to say. This army, River Elders, Grey Floods, War Chanters. Interesting to see them. Okay. Again, the way the reinforcements work in Medieval 2 is very odd. The fact that you can actually make that a possibility is weird, but we'll fight it. If we win this, after all, it's the siege lifted. If we don't, it's a bit of a problem, to be honest, because they probably will assault the city then, and we might be in a little bit of trouble. Even if we lose this battle, though, we can weaken the enemy significantly enough to where our army in the fortress should win. So frankly, victory or defeat doesn't really matter too much to me. Is this the better hill? Or is this over here the better hill? I think it's probably this, because there is more of a dip in front of this one. So yeah. Also, all of these units, Azra Zaire aside, have got, or yeah, the Marines aside, have got maximum armor upgrade. Only 2 archers that are kind of depleted. So I think their reinforcements will come in from over there somewhere based on the layout that we saw. Right, halberdiers need to be the front line of dreams. So we want to be fairly compact. And then we have 3 spearmen, which we will have here at the back, and well, you can actually just be a reserve unit just generally, and then these 2 healthier units can be for zoning out the cav, and then right in the middle we've got our javelins, who hopefully we can flank around towards the end. But like I said, damage is more the order of the day here. They do outnumber us fairly substantially, but again, quality of troops and survivability in general is Enidwaith's problem. Damage dealing is not, however. Right, is this the War Chanters? No, I don't think it is it? The War Chanters are a 2-handed sword unit. Is this them? No, that's the Minhiriath warriors. Where are the War Chanters then? Maybe that is the War Chanter. I know that the Dunland variant has got a 2-handed sword, so I assume it's just the same unit for both of them, but maybe it's not. They're not actually that dangerous as it pertains to melee, but they most certainly are good at keeping those that morale high. So there, is this them? Yes, this is them, the War Chanters. Interesting unit. You can use chanting a little bit more effectively in campaign games, I think, than you can in multiplayer. Multiplayer is a bit fast and furious. Generally speaking, a human player won't allow you to use a unit like that all that effectively. Right, you go there. You go there. We have our own javelins, of course, but horribly outnumbered and outgunned. There's also the fact that this is a captain stack, so our general model is going to be easier to snipe. Indeed, if we actually had a general's bodyguard here, like a unit of Naaru household guard, this probably wouldn't be that much of a problem, because they're so tanky that... Well, Anidwythe have got AP though, so maybe it still would have been a problem, but it would have been much better, obviously, to have an actual general. Did you attack Harad? I didn't, Darth Cyclone, no. I don't intend to either. If they declare war on me, then so be it. It'll be awkward to deal with, but no. River Archers. We should be able to out-skirmish them, I would have thought. This is our little auxiliary unit of spears. How they shape up to engage us is going to be fairly interesting, actually. Are we indeed? Right, they're javelin horsemen, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Or are they? I think they are. Yeah, they've got javelins on their back, so they absolutely should be. Yeah, this is where Anidwythe, though, are at their devastating weakest, I suppose. Like, that accuracy isn't that great either. Grey Flood Raiders. Go after the... yeah, go after them. Again, we probably do lose this. But if we don't, it's a nice bonus. But if we do, hopefully we can do enough damage to them to the point where... And they are attacking us one army at a time as well, which is really good for us. Will we indeed? That's gratifying. Yeah, go after those Grey Floods. Get some of those javelins on the go. Yeah, once again the enemy is targeting down my javelins because they really do hate them. Killed off a few of them. That's fine. Okay. It's an interesting horn they've got. Right, yeah. Shoot them. Shoot the Grey Flood Horsemen, I guess. Moot Keepers. Victory is a certainty. Okay, maybe we should be... I think we should be able to win that. Oh, come on. Move. Actually losing on the flank to Rosadans, which is kind of interesting. Need to keep our line whole. The reinforcements are on the way. If we can break this little force before... Problem is we might end up breaking if our captain dies, and there he is. Here on the end, not in the fight. Good for him. Yeah, the basic Anidwythe forces are just not durable enough, really. Like the Moot Keepers and the Minhiriath warriors are a little bit more worrying. Right, should we go after... Yeah, go after the Grey Flood Horseman. If we have enough of a front line by the time that second army comes in, then we should be fine. Okay, we're starting to see a little bit of routing. Good, good, good. Even the Moot Keepers are routing, which is fairly surprising, actually. They may very well end up coming back, but... Okay, we should win that. The base attack of the Marines is such that we should win that. decent little unit in melee as well, and of course, like, they may not be AP in melee, the Marines, but AP is most certainly not a problem.
They have lost half their men.
Keep shooting at them. Using the Rosadan Bowman in melee isn't the worst idea as a little auxiliary. Alright, I got bored, bye. Well, yeah, don't let the door hit you on the way out then. Or perhaps do. Grey Flood Raiders getting into melee. There are actually some River Swordsmen heading down to our Javelin boys as well. Okay, yeah, you just keep shooting at the horsemen, I suppose.
Our foolish general has thrown
That's
his
not
life away.
great.
Perhaps our chances of
Hopefully the
victory
morale
are
holds together. Man, that army over there is really slow on the approach. They've actually stopped, which is surprising. We're still eager. I think it's because we're still actively winning the battle. They still actually have some javelins, which is kind of surprising.
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours.
And yeah, okay. The Zenith Clansmen did do a number on our Rosadans there. So, actually, yeah, we'll back them up, I think, with a unit of halberds, because that force in the back there is just not moving forward.
The enemy general lies dead.
Sliced him down with the Azrazair. Good, good, good. Yeah, but I mean, I think we could win this battle outright. Here's the thing. Right, let's just move forwards a little bit. Yeah, we absolutely butchered that cavalry there. And yes, keeping tight formations. Go back down that way. Yeah, we need to ideally finish this off a little bit more quickly. Okay, yeah, just go down there. Oh no, they actually routed them. Good. And you still have ammo, which is a sign that you actually need to cease fire. So do you. Right, don't chase them too far. A lot of these may end up coming back. But yeah, that's them routing, which is good. See if we can make sure that they don't come back. Basic Enidwaith units. This is why, like, even if the balance of power was not favourable, it wouldn't have been an issue to face them at the fortress, because they're just not durable enough to deal with fortifications, even in the late game. They don't have the worst late game roster, but I think that's Moria. But yeah, we do have some routing going on. Right, Grey Flood Horsemen. They're coming back again. So you fire at them. Rosadan Bowman, just wherever the line starts to get a little bit weaker. They're actually gonna just... Cavalry is there, Grey Floods, River Elders are decent as well, I think. War Chanters. I don't know how good the War Chanters are in melee per se. I mean, yeah, if they want to go after my Rosadan Bowman, I'd much rather that than the halberds. But can you fire your javelins, please? Of course, now you are unable to. Okay, now they're going after the halberds. And this is the problem, because we do need to keep our shape, which is difficult to do. We just have to sort of sit here and accept the punishment that comes our way. It's a unit that we can deal with a little bit more easily, I think. We're almost out of ammunition. Only 1 kill? 2 kills off that javelin volley. I think as soon as we're out of ammo, there's nothing really to stop us from just shifting forward ever so slightly and dealing with some of these. What is this? Yeah, just try and do some damage, I guess. Come on, you know you want to. Marvellous, a bit of friendly fire. Just what I wanted. Ah. Okay, with that, let's get you over here, actually.
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours.
I certainly hope so. A victory here will be a real bonus. It'll really sort of lift a bit of the pressure that has been building on us from Enidwaith. Okay, yeah, they're charging in here. Their cavalry is not built for this sort of thing in the way that Dol Amroth is. So we'll just mob them. If they had their war chances forward, they would actually be sticking in melee much, much better than they are. But, okay, that's one of them gone. The bigger of the two, actually, as well. So let's get you into a position, into a shape. You actually can go up around this side now that you're out of ammunition. I think the armour upgrades have definitely played their part. Okay, you can move forwards as well, actually, now that I come to think of it. Right, yeah, we can't really afford to... Interesting. Are they going to try and retreat fully? I can't really stop them from doing that if that's what they want to do. They are ranged units though, I suppose, so it makes a certain amount of sense. And... okay. We still have that cavalry buzzing around. Okay, we're now in melee. With river elders. Ooh, war chances actually, yes. Actually, yeah, just get in there. Yeah, we're losing that fight. Mootkeepers should lose that. Hey there, Dark Cloud 3200. Right. Clean up these horsemen real quick. And then we... yeah, the River Elders are the only thing that I'm truly concerned about at this stage. Get our Marines in there. We've just got too many bowmen for them, I think, in melee. We need to get them on the way forward as well. Marines. They still have ammo, so get after them. You get over here and get ready to surround them. How's my mic, by the way? Because there was some issues last night that I had with it when I was using it for some voice chat, apparently. And I was wondering if my mic was actually okay for today. I don't think it's too much of a problem. This is a close battle. Yeah, and it's a battle I didn't really mind losing all that much either, because we would have gotten more or less what we wanted out of it, even had we lost. So the fact that we've won it is a real bonus. No, we'll just end it there.
Victory is ours.
Yeah.
Let it be a
I think these little raids from Enidwaith are just going to be something which happens throughout the whole campaign, but as soon as we have like a solid stack of Rosadan in these two fortresses, they're not going to be able to do much. Okay, good. Yeah, sometimes mic issues can just be have a rather effervescent quality to them, because you can't really...
Surely you'd rather coin.
524. Sure, we can... No, we didn't. Okay. They're still going to try and siege it. Well, now they're not. The siege is lifted. Good. And we can... Best thing about that is we can get these Rosadan into the fortress now. Mordor's still not confident about that, are they? I think it's because the AI's probably hasn't quite made up its mind on what exactly to do. Whether to keep going for Rohan or whether to turn around. The Men of Dunland. Okay, so a Dunland Doomstack has spawned. A Bride, certainly. We have failed with that. We don't really care about that. There's no way we'd want a treaty with the Northern Dunedain anyway. Most advanced faction. The world knows our culture is advanced. Marvellous. So, yes, this is what we want to do, isn't it? So, we could actually just straight up get Gimmelzor. Maybe we could hop over the river with Gimmelzor and take over East Osgiliath. It's rather tempting, I must say. Right, what do we have in this army? A load of old rubbish, really. Is there anything that we can give to you from here? I'll tell you what, we definitely need some artillery. So you can take those off his hands. So that Gimmelcard can be a little bit more useful when we're using him on the front foot. Oh yeah, that's something else that I've been forgetting to do. I've been neglecting this. Because we need to get you up towards Baradhan. You need to keep moving along here so you can reinforce Tirithoros. Royal Knights, that is completely empty, so claim it.
Yes, my lord.
Right, you can go up here now,
As you wish.
just to get a little bit of sight. I have to leave soon. I will come back. Right, what do we want to do with you? We could...
Yes, my lord.
And it is... We could attack that army there. If we were to attack this one, these are a lot of captain stacks. It's like playing Jenga. We've got to find the right combination. Right, before we lose track, so we want, I think, all of the Rosadan units, I think, to join with Gimmelcard. We've got a lot of just rubbish that we're spending money on, really, but this isn't rubbish, I suppose. Oh yes, we want you in there. Got a catapult as well, so yeah, you join up with them. How much more can we...
Yes, my lord.
Right, so we can have 6 more units. Okay, so that's 4. And that's 6. It's not an amazing army, but it's decent. And we can start moving Gimmelcard forwards. That's a good point, actually. Where's my... Here it is. There's a few things, so... One thing I was going to actually rename Ethring, because it's almost like a nice little, quaint little hub in the middle of our new territory now. I was going to rename it to this. Which I think this, Inzil an Andun, translates literally to Flower of the West, which is rather a nice Whether you need the Holy Rock to take out Sauron again. I don't know if Sauron's even going to get the chance to spawn, because in the Lothlorien campaign he spawned around turn 200, didn't he? Or at least it was definitely past turn 200. I think by that time we probably already would have dealt grievous blows to Mordor, or alternatively we may very well have lost the campaign based on losing our 3 central generals, if I get a little bit too gung-ho with it. Right, you start moving up this way because we want you to head into Rohan to the horse pastures. Right. Could go for some more Gondor infantry, which wouldn't be the worst idea, but I kind of want this army to be a little bit more mobile if possible. We still can't build any more Nadubawib over here, which is a bit frustrating. Do we have anything useful that we can build here again? Not really. Very well done. Really could do with the general going there. Right, yes, that's a good point. That stack's going to be more than enough to deal with anything that comes their way now. Let's just combine some units so that we're not spending quite as much on upkeep. And could probably do with getting rid of you, but nah, we'll be fine. Okay. Forwards. In there. That's it, yeah, we need these 2 ballistae going forward as well. Nice bit of artillery. There's still nothing really exceptionally useful about this either. Okay, I'll tell you what, if there's axemen, I guess we'll get them, because they could be useful for Gimmelthon's little stack. No axemen available there. But there is some here. So yeah, let's do it. And we'll get another unit of Nardu Tariq as well while we're at it. We've got to spend our money on something. Karasast is there. Brethel. That's a good point. We need to repair Brethel. Go with that. Why not? That general's probably going to stick there for a little bit. Right. Okay, enough messing around. Now is the time where we need to start doing things here. I'd rather Gimmelcard be up here as well by the time we start moving in. So I think that's what we shall try and make happen.
How may I serve? Ships ready.
And we have an army here as well. About the issue of only the first row of infantry changing. I don't know why cavalry doesn't have charging. I don't know why cavalry hasn't had this issue. I don't know about that. Your enemy's a friend. It's just one of those weird things about Medieval 2. It's sometimes it will perform as you want it to, and sometimes it won't, and it's really as simple as that. Is there anything we can combine here? It doesn't look like it. Nothing adequately, anyway. Okay, you shall go this way. You can just wait. Yeah. We'll pass the turn for now, because charging in there could get Gimmelzor surrounded by a bunch of stacks, because I think they're just reluctant to try and take Minas Tirith. More so than anything else. I wouldn't mind taking that Enidwaith settlement as well in the west, because it gives us a more natural choke point. Yeah, I think next week at some stage will probably be the end of the Ar-Adunaim campaign, so should probably be on the lookout for a poll for the next one that we do. We're making money as well now. I think when we broke our alliance with Mordor and declared war on them, we lost a ton of trade with both Mordor and Can, which is probably why our income, like at one point we were just rolling in money. We still are, to be fair, but I think that's more because of the towns that we're taking. Right, that is a ton of stuff. They're actually breaking up their force, which is an absolutely shocking idea on their part. it's actually to the point where I feel as though what we probably should do is take West Osgiliath with our boy over here, Castarion, who I think actually has got the lazy trait, which he does. So he's a lazy person, but he may very well end up being like the spearhead of our invasion. Yeah, I was thinking about that, Calvin. It probably will be up north somewhere. Either like the northern edge of the map or Eriador somewhere will probably be the next one, because then we've done like the middle portion of the map with the Anduin and like southern Mirkwood. We've done obviously the south now, and around the coast. Nice to have a nice naval theme, I must say. Right. We really could do with no. Military build policy. What is all of this? Growth build policy. That is remarkably cheap. They really didn't develop these lands all that well, did they? If we're being brutally honest, we can just plaster markets all over the place. No invasions have been called yet, which is odd. I was expecting invasions. We'll go for a large bazaar, and that'll do with regards to buildings at the moment. Right, just before anything else, let's get you lot in there. That also gives us our maximum amount before we start cutting into the support garrison that we have. What have we got going on down here, by the way? How long until this place... okay, 5 turns, so yeah, they probably will not care about that. Okay, we'll just make sure that they're in reinforcement range for when the inevitable happens. Where on earth is you? You should have tons of movement. You've gotten slow in your old age, Sacklethor. Gives us plenty of time to build up another stack at least. God damn, like... yeah, we'll go for some Narduzagar as well, I suppose. A bit more shock infantry. Can we build... like, just 2 more turns? Just 2 more, and then we'll actually have some archers on the go. Glorious day. Not got a huge population here, have we? No, go on then. Have some farms. Yeah, there's just nothing I want there. We can build units, but none of them are of the quality that I want at this point. You head forwards. You head forwards. Tons of units which aren't really necessary, so let's start. Actually, wait a minute, we can combine you and then get rid of you. You're a long way from home. We'll get rid of the Azrazair. Elites only army? I mean, that's pretty much this. The only problem with an elites only army is I would spend about 30 turns just doing the logistics of it, because they take so long to replenish and respawn. That is a solid army though. Okay, yeah, I think what we will do, what we shall do is, can we can actually take this fort, which is pretty cool. There's actually an actual general there, so yeah, what we're going to do, this bunch going to go after West Osgiliath. It's probably for the best we try and keep these to auto-resolves if we can as well, because the Osgiliaths are very demanding on the system.
We have triumphed.
Yes, we have.
My lord, our
Occupy.
courage and honor have conquered.
They are not happy with us, but they'll just have to learn to live with that. Gimmelzor and his whole army can head up here to Tariq Gimmelkad, as it is now known. A Numenorian foundry would be quite nice, I have to say, because this could be another very nice recruitment hub for us. A conscription camp. I mean, this place is probably going to be happy because we're going to be leaving a general in it for good, so I think that does actually make sense on this occasion, even if the public order does take a bit of a tumble as a result. And perhaps we leave you two in this fort because we don't really need you as we push forward. Another unit that we probably don't need is you, actually. So yeah, free upkeep on them, just in reserve if we need more reinforcements. Osgiliath is taxing on your PC. I expect there won't be no, it's not that. It's not my PC. It's just what they say about it in general. Osgiliath, I mean, the developers. Osgiliath, because you have to load up both settlements, it's kind of awkward on single player. See you, your enemy's friend. Right, so yeah, we'll rebuild that. There's lots of armies, but I think we're good at this point. Honestly, I think really it's just a case of waiting for this slow navy so that we can start depositing our units all over the place. Oh yeah, you. Right, what is the story here now? We'll wait one more turn. We might actually assault it after this, because I think they will have taken enough losses. There's only 2 more turns until they actually have to surrender, so... Okay. Enidwaith may attack us again. Enidwaith actually giving us more of an issue, perhaps, than Mordor. Amusingly enough. We haven't even got to see the Ar-Pharazon's faithful on the battle map yet, because both times it's been far more efficient to also resolve the fights that they've been involved in. Yeah, we're really making headway now. I'm actually quite surprised that Mordor are not putting up more resistance. I think they must be sending stacks into Rohan. Okay, here we go. Decent little force this that they've got coming at us, but we should be okay. Ballista towers should do the job for us, I'm hoping. But we'll see. There's a lot of Azra Zaire in this army as well, to be fair, so it's not exactly the most high quality force, but like I said, Enidwaith just, they don't have that armour, that sturdiness that makes them a true problem when it comes to sieging down settlements. If this was even a Mordor with stuff like their Black Uruks would be more of an issue. Their army doesn't look all that impressive when you look at it like this, but I think it's because tons of their army can hide anywhere. Yeah, they can actually remain, I think. I think holding the walls is actually what we want to do. So yeah, you can do this. What else do we have that we can utilise? You can go there like that. Right, Marines can just sort of sit here. Right, I suppose just in case, we'll put the ballista back here, just in case they try and force their way through. It's kind of annoying that my general is in a unit of pikes, because they're going to be on the front line. But we're in a defensive siege anyway, so hopefully that won't be a huge issue. I think that's... so we've got 2 more units of archers. So yeah, you can go like so. Is Enidwaith the same as Minidwaith? Minhiriath? I mean, what I would say Enidwaith are is, if you picture the javelin elements and lighter units of Rudour, that's kind of what Enidwaith are. But they don't have like the really beefy, like high-end stuff that Rudour does in Reforged. That's more Dunland's thing. Dunland have got like the pikes and the melee, whereas Enidwaith have got more of the javelins. So that's okay. Yeah, they're all the way over here. I thought we had another unit, which actually you can probably set yourselves up there. And we've got some raiders, which again we can just sort of... Right, so we do need some decent stuff on the walls, so we'll put you here near the gate, so that's less likely to fall. We shall... I guess we'll put you there. Don't know what they are, but we'll only need 1 unit of you, I think. The South Rons are going to be fighting in the pits, doing the dirty work. Hopefully some of these siege towers get destroyed as well, because that will make everything much easier for me. And I think that's just about it, isn't it? Are there any other melee units that I've forgotten? I don't think there is. Oh yes, the no, the Nazgul we brought there. Okay, yeah, the halberdiers, that was it. They can stay down here though. They'll be much better at holding the line in that area. Javelin boys, you can be a little bit closer to the gate just in case you are required. Okay, let's see how this goes then. So this is going to be a whole lot of arrows heading into them pretty quickly, as well as ballista bolts. River Elders taking tons of damage. This is just where, again, oof. Enidwaith, I think, would be a challenging campaign to play just because of your starting situation and the fact that even when you sort of get yourself sorted, by the way, you could use the ballista to attack the siege towers. Yeah, not with this angle though. It's more... Honestly, it's better for the ballista towers to do it, because by the time they get to the wall and are actually climbing up it, that's usually when the... Right, now then. That's because the AI will always, if given the opportunity, try to just bulldoze their way through. And we shall not allow them to do that, all being well. And then the halberdiers can be sort of like a backup unit should we need to commit them. What would be really nice is if the ram took damage, but the rams are a little bit more durable. They're taking tons of damage actually. I actually feel confident with bringing the raiders over to the main gate. Oh, we actually have another unit of raiders as well that I had completely forgotten about. Actually, you go over there. You might be more useful just in case you are required. Moot keepers. Yeah, those siege towers are going to break when they're climbing up it, which is going to make a massive difference. River Elders. Decent unit, but like again, they're javelins, so... It's honestly a good thing for us, though. Actually, yeah, you go up here, onto the walls. Because they have had issues in the past with firing properly. You love to see it. Oh yeah, the siege tower's broken. Look, I actually don't think they were climbing up it much though, which is actually a shame. That one's taking a bit of damage. Okay, yeah, you get down from the walls then. And you can also move back over here, because we probably will need numbers on the front as a result of that. You get onto the walls.
The enemy's ram has breached the gates.
Honestly, good. This should hasten their demise. Go after them. Yeah, a lot of those units popping up, war chanters and the like. Oh wow, they got destroyed. All the rams got destroyed. All the ladders got destroyed, I should say. Okay, get down from there. Show us their heads. Yeah, the moot keepers are doing alright. Okay. Well, now they won't be because all the reinforcements are... Oh, and they're routing. Lovely. You love to see it. Yeah, we're gonna win this. There's actually still one ladder left alive, so... Okay, you get up there then. We can actually use that to our advantage, potentially. I don't know what... Actually, no, they're trying to go in through the main gate, aren't they? No matter, then. And it's just going to be a case of the slow but inevitable demise. After the war chanters. What do a bunch of hillmen expect against the superior might of the Ar-Adunaim? Well, Numenorians have been gone a long time, I suppose, in this form anyway, from the region. So, maybe people have merely forgotten. Right. It would actually be quite nice to get... Yeah, those ballista towers are just so crazy. Yeah, we're doing damage up there. Actually, you know what? Probably makes sense to get you up onto the walls more than down in the gap. Do we have the ability to fire? Do you have the angle if I put you here like this? I don't think you do you? Yeah, go for a rave. They're really trying to just push their way through. Okay, so now is a moment where we can start actually utilising our archers. Like so. Okay, well this is actually a good opportunity potentially to utilise them as infantry. Foresters of Haleth. Interesting. Root Keepers, something's on the way up here. Oh, it's just another unit of Minhiriath warriors. The war chanters really should be further forward. Would it just be elven music crying about my longing for Aman? Victory seems like a distinct possibility. I don't think so. Put an end to this nonsense at once.
The enemy are badly bloodied.
Right, well, we've utilised pretty much the entirety of our Southron units there. Oh yeah, we still have our ballista, don't we? We can't really use it though, so it's not really terribly important. Right, yeah, we need to get you down here, don't we? Gondor infantry. They're kind of pushing through this way, aren't they? Yeah, get some shots in. Still shooting at them. Oh yeah, still got you with ammunition, haven't we? Well, you definitely need to get over here then. You've actually got enough ammunition to make a substantial difference. Oof. Nasty stuff. Where are they going? They're going to try and run to the town centre? Probably.
From such tidings does victory emerge.
It's a fairly useless gesture, to be honest with you, but I guess we'll chase them down regardless.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Yeah, they're routing. They were never going to make that. They're out of ammo now. Still shooting slowly at the war chanters. If you have archers, you should target the Minhiriath warriors. I mean, everything's in such a big cluster that it doesn't, like, just firing in. Especially considering my archers that I have here are not exactly pinpoint accurate. It's pretty much everything, isn't it? Actually, just go after the war chanters. Yeah, there we go. They're getting killed as they go along the walls. I think they're trying to get to these ladders over here, which is going to go about as well as you would expect. Another Enidwaith stack bites the dust. Yeah, I guess it's just the war chances, I think, are probably locked morale. Look how many of them have died though. They just stood in front of the Nadu Bawib and the Azrazair archers. Those marines can probably hunt down a bunch of stuff, to be honest. Oh no, they're not locked morale, I guess. Okay, there we go. I think I'll execute this stack as well because I don't want them coming back in short order. Yeah, I was mentioning that, Val, how Enidwaith, like, their roster is fragile, just looking at it. Especially considering, like, the importance of armour in DAC, the fact that it's a low armour faction. They can do good damage with some of their units, but it's just, again, like, javelins are awkward to use as well. Yeah, execute them. We are losing money hand over fist in Anulond, however. Ooh, hello. Ke Andros. I think I'm going to rename Osgiliath to Arminaleth as well, because that means fortress. Ooh. Death stalks the land. Can Gimilzor. Oh, for Christ's sake. Okay, so we got Plague. Plague is upon us. You. What can we do? Nothing, I guess. Right, so with that in mind, I guess not building any units here for the time being. Still got some units there. Still no Nardabawib or Baruthiel's watch. Right, you. Can we finally get one of these guys? Okay, so yeah, we'll drop you off there, and you will get into there next turn. And we actually do need a general in Tolfalas as well. Right, so with that in mind, now that plagues are starting, can means hold Uriel apparently, and because Dol Amroth is more of a fortress, I felt like it was more appropriate to name it that. Come on, I gave you a nice name and everything, and this is how you repay me? By considering unhappiness. No growth. I don't care about growth, to be honest. I just want... yeah, that'll give a little bit more law and order. Ah, hello. Again, your units are just not up to the task, my friend. You've actually got a general in that army, at least. What is their general's bodyguard unit? Elder Guildsman. That's still again, like an armour of 7 for your general's bodyguard is really quite poor. And right, we had something on the way, didn't we? Yes, Ballistae. Right then. So at this point, it's just a case of you're going to be like a ferry, almost like a bridge between one side and the other. Osgiliath can do what, I wonder? Ooh. Yeah, we can. We can repair Osgiliath. Speaking of which, right, how do I spell this? Arminaleth. Especially considering the borders that we have at the end of this campaign, like this is probably going to be like the front, like the front gate to our lands, essentially. There we go. There's a few stacks roaming with malicious intent here. Right, so we still have space for 3 units. The cavalry actually I think will be fairly useful in one of these armies. I think we already have a unit here, don't we? Yes, we do. Right, perhaps. Okay. Gimmelcard himself is going to, I think, do a bit of river hopping. So,
Yes, my lord.
yes. I guess. It's all of this. Then we just got this one unit of Rosadan footman. Okay. You get back in here, I guess. How did that make their settlement less happy? Well, I guess they're being oppressed. Right then. You go there.
Your orders, my lord.
Minas Morgul reached. Hey look, there's the mouth of Sauron. Right then. Gimmelthon probably needs to get a move on, otherwise he's not going to actually have much of a part to play at all in proceedings. Right, you 3 or 4 I should say, get over there. They're ready. I mean, we have a decent force, like, ready to go. But we just need the Navy to actually get itself into gear. Wouldn't you? Good thing I don't want you to.
Yes, sir. Ships ready. Blocking access to their port. Ships ready.
Okay, I guess we can't attack there.
Blocking access to their port.
Technically, our Minaleth. Very well. And then we can take east. I mean, things are looking pretty good. I mean, it just depends on if, like, the Witch King sallies out with a hugely elite army to invade upon this. Because this is not the best of forces. It's got a ton of siege, to be fair. But, I mean, it's not the most elite force. We'd have to hope for a choke point and hope that our siege and crossbows could do the business. Because we can hold the line as long as it's just the one. Again, we've got these armies. This guy here. Yes, that's it. That's what I was going to do. More ballistae. We can also use our merchant as a bit of a scout. Right, yeah, that's a good point. Can we? Surely we can finish this off now. Yeah. Okay, yeah, 400 losses, that's not the end of the world. Ballista towers would make that probably more, especially considering the quality of the troops on the defence. We're just going to occupy this one. Due mostly in part to the fact that we're not going to be pushing further along this side of the river because we may very well draw the Wrath of Khand.
Your orders, my lord.
And I think that's pretty much it. Other than maybe construction. Lin here built a great hall. Can we actually build anything of use in Lin here? I guess we could. Sure, why not? And that's all we can afford. Adun and Azul. I could do that. It's a good idea. After all, I have used that for this. So, where are we? It's been more a micromanagey kind of part, this. And Azul soon. Still a couple of stacks roaming with malicious intent, but I think we should be okay. We're always one significant defeat away from disaster. I think I'll feel much happier when we have another fresh stack on the front line. I think at that point it is game over, I think, for Mordor at that stage. 16 halberds, it's barely worth keeping you around. I will, because we may as well, but I think we can combine you two, we will. And we could combine you two. And then get rid of you. And that means we can have you two actually inside the fortress. Again, just 10 Rosedans though. That's so poor. Right, Anulond really needs to start pulling its weight in terms of money. But we can't do that yet because we of course don't have any money of our own to spend on it. Right, let's see what Mordor do. Because at this point Enidwaith have been more scary. The mouth of Sauron is a Black Númenorian, right? Shouldn't you kill him too, since he is a traitor? I mean, yeah, we could, but we don't have, like, assassins, so we can't kill agents. Hold that bridge between East Osgiliath and Minas Morgul. Yeah, I mean, the fortress should serve us just fine for now. Oh, another siege?
We must make a stand.
They're leaving though. Like I said, Enidwaith have been more on the front foot than Mordor, which is quite funny. Where are you going then? Gonna try and retake Tirith-Oros? Perhaps? Don't seem too eager to try and take that fort of ours. That's kind of the area of the world I want Gimmelthon to be dealing with. You can surround agents and squash them that way. Yeah, agents have always had little things that you can do to them to exploit them in Total War games. Is that an invasion? That's the sound of such. War declared. There's rioting, which I care very little about. They are not happy, but... Oh yeah, we haven't repaired anything yet. Idiot. What a fool I am. We also still have... Right, yes, you.
Yes, my lord.
Into Barad-Han. That's a ton of money. That is an easy battle for us. Right. You into there. Oh yeah, we're making cash now. We are making bank. Now then. We do still need a general for you. Can we kill this navy now? I guess not. I guess we can only blockade. So we're making good cash. Still not really what I want in terms of units available. The crossbows are okay, but I want something with a little bit more gusto, I have to say. This is tempting. Actually, we don't have any siege, do we, for Gimmelthon, so I think we'll go for one of each. And we do need some anti-cavalry, so we will go for a unit of seaward spears as well. 166 turns and you've basically expanded Gondor to its old borders. Yeah, I mean, it's been a fairly quick lurch forward. I think it's because Mordor were horribly underprepared for what we did. They've had full stacks, but they just haven't wanted to attack us. Right, AR-PHARAZON, which actually, again, like we've got units at this point down here where I'm actually kind of tempted to start moving them up if we can. But, that's very expensive, that. Public baths wouldn't be a bad idea. No, we're not going to build anything there because we don't need to build anything there. It is an unneeded appendage at this point in time. That's fairly cheap, isn't it? Normal tax rate as well. Right, so we need a general in Kalembal, the Flower of the West, and Anulon. So we need 3 generals total. I think we actually have 4, don't we? No, perfect. Exactly the number we need in our heartlands. Okay. Wow, look at this. They're leaving. They're rolling out the welcome mat for us. They really are. Osgiliath will probably rebel if we push forward, but we don't necessarily need to push forward with them.
Yes, my lord.
Because we can just use Gimmelcard and then basically swap out all of the really high tier stuff into Gimmelkard's armies. Can you rebuild a Thalond, or do you need to be Dol Amroth? I don't know if I can rebuild a Thalond. I know that I can do it for Osgiliath. I can do it for Osgiliath, Tharbad, and that might be it. And I think you can do it. I think you can do Fornost as well, as the Ar-Adunaim. I didn't hear that you could do a Thalond. You might be able to, but I wouldn't be willing to sort of put any weight behind that. Okay. So yeah, what we're going to do, this fort will probably be retaken, but who cares about this fort?
We shall engage. We shall prevail.
Oh, it's the Nazgul. Okay, I'll tell you what. Just in case it ends up crashing, because it is a real possibility on a map like Osgiliath, we'll fight this one.
We attack.
Just because I want to see the Nazgul. I think only Elven factions can rebuild a Thalond, if it can be rebuilt at all, since it isn't actually ruined as much as it was abandoned. Yeah, here we go. Right then. What a majestic, well, not a majestic sight at the moment, but it will be when we're done rebuilding it. Right, we're going to give Gal Altan, the Nazgul, our signature treatment with the artillery. Yeah, we're just going to... I think it is literally just him, isn't it? So we're just going to shoot him to death. Gimmelkard will sort of move forward with a couple of strong units. You can just hang out here. Right, is there anything of quality that we can... Well, we're just... Let's be honest, we're just going to shoot him. Execute him. Right. I don't actually know what bodyguard Gal Altan is. I think the only one of the Nazgul that is the cavalry variant is the Witch King. I think the others are all either the swordsman or the marksman. To be honest, like, that could make a bit of a difference, because the marksmen are nasty. Like, they are not what we want to be up against. And I bet he is. No, he's not. He's the Temple Wards. Okay. They're done. Finished at this level. Nice to see Osgiliath, though. It's also something that this side of Osgiliath, I've never seen like a siege, like a multiplayer siege with this side of Osgiliath used as like the defenders half. It's always that half over there. Right. So we shall... I think actually we do need to bring down the gate, don't we? Before we do anything. Other than that, we're just going to shoot them. And then we will go up with our seaward spears. Praise Melkor, the foes of his wrath shall be crushed by rocks. I mean Pharazon. I mean, based on the cultural buildings like dark shrines and temples and such, the implication, I suppose, would be is that the Ar-Adunaim still worship Melkor. Like, that's still like their culture. But of course, you know, Sauron's betrayal, a foul betrayal. Who knows? It's one of those things that I guess could go either way. When the Ar-Adunaim have sort of reclaimed their birthright, it's then up to them, I suppose, how they proceed from there. Yeah, time 6 speed this. So this would, I mean, this is going to be the side that we effectively have to, I suppose in that gap there would be where Minas Morgul lies. But yeah, this is the side of Osgiliath that we are going to have to defend should it be required. And it almost certainly will be required. East Osgiliath looks cooler to defend. New stuff is always interesting. I mean, this is an interesting feature of East Osgiliath, these smaller bridges. The gate is also well and truly open, so the welcome mat has been rolled out for us in spectacular fashion. Okay, so there's a land bridge there. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what we're going to do. You are actually going to go out here like this. I don't know what the status of the transparency of the buildings is in Divide and Conquer, but I would assume you can shoot through them. Because that's just how it goes. This probably would have been more... This is one of those examples of a fight that would be more efficient if I had auto-resolved it, because the odds were dominatingly in our favour. But in case Mordor don't counterattack, because they have seemed extremely reluctant to do so far... Who knows? I mean, if we continue to make progress like this against Mordor, and they continue to put up a highly limited amount of resistance, we'll be kind and say it that way, the very next part might be the conclusion of the campaign. Because I mean, Barad-dûr lies not too far away as soon as we've taken the Athelian region. Yeah, I guess we'll move forward with another unit of Nadu Tariq as well. If you rebuilt West Osgiliath, will that also repair the walls in East Osgiliath? I have no idea, Val. I would assume not, because the game will read East Osgiliath, I think, as this still. And it'll be like, oh, that in the distance over there hasn't been rebuilt. But you can use the imagination to say, like, you know, Númenórean stonemasons are going about their business. We've got to rebuild the Great Dome, of course. Right, we're getting shot. Wait a minute, how are we getting shot? Oh, I see. Lovely. Right, get down here. These crossbows are not really too important because we can train them in so many places that at this stage it really isn't of much import. Yeah, you go this way as well. Why not? We'll get Gimmelcard involved. See if we can thread the needle to squash Galaltan. Nice first volley though. They are just standing still right there. But there is also two different maps. Yeah, I've got. It'd be interesting to see, but I doubt we'll get the chance to see it because we'll either construct these maps reasonably quickly, or Mordor will only be able to attack us before we've upgraded East Osgiliath. Right, yeah, you get into them. Yeah, shocking idea this. You move there, and I guess you two get just in behind them. He's just hanging out. No kills, just vibes. Yeah, shooting point blank. But that is of no concern. In fact, at this point, the Nazgul were going to be not going to be affected by Gimmelcard's shout. Playing as Dol Guldur and Mordor would be interesting just to see the... Right. Can we... No, I don't want to... It would be a real shame if we went all this way with our catapults only to not be able to actually hit the guy. Because I am eager to see this man squashed. This is probably the best angle with which we can hit him. I think we're yet to lose a single infantryman. Some crossbows, all that we have lost. A glorious sight. The gold, dark red and black. The palette swaps are really good as well. It's ironic how actually the Gondorian and Dol Amroth units look really good in the Ar-Adunaim colours. Right, yes, we can hit them. If they move backward, if they move forwards, then they're going to get peppered up by the crossbows and archers in pretty quick order. Interesting how they're not retreating. Ah, unfortunate. Well, I don't think we're going to be able to hit him with... Well, we can thread the needle. Okay. We can try and thread the needle. Still, at the end of the day, these are spears over here. So while they've taken literally no losses, they do go about their killing business pretty slowly. Where's Gimmelcard? No, that's not him. He is very much a golden... But there he is. In his gold armour and mask. He actually does look a little bit like the thumbnail thing, only with like a mask instead of like an old Numenorian helmet. We are almost in place for some catapult action. As soon as they twist it around, they've got a much better shot. I'm expecting big things. I'm expecting death on the first volley of this catapult. That was... Do you indeed? Kill them if you please. Okay, you know what? Yeah, you're not going to hit him from there, are you? Just go back over there. And we will. I'm really surprised actually that the Black Uruk archers are still fighting. That's not in flaming shot. Scandalous behaviour. Kind of looks... Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the... It was fan art that was done for Reforged, that thumbnail picture. And it's very thematic. What a man. Okay, this is a little bit less impressive than the catapult that killed Sauron off, boys, I've got to be honest. But we also have the potential to get some crossbows in to do some business. Hopefully. Nope. The Mordor buildings are in the way. Can we... Okay, yeah. And then you get into position there. Oh, we did lose a Seaward Spearman in the end. Sad times. There we go. Beautiful. Just as we panned over as well. Threading the needle nicely. That's why we should probably play as the dwarves, because then we can really get that going. That's the first hit, to be fair. Wasn't the first shot like last time, but you know, yeah, we definitely want to be. We want to just be giving them the business, don't we? Really? Yeah, they're routing now. So you just trudge your way forwards a little bit. What are you doing? Temple wards are not to be taken too lightly. There is something satisfying about setting up a really nasty killing field for your foe. Right, this is a little bit awkward because we're technically inside the building there. The dwarves don't have flaming shot, the grape shot. Yeah, that's what I mean, like the specialty dwarven projectiles are like supposedly extremely nasty. Right, okay. They're shooting back at us, which is practically cheating. Not very sporting behaviour, is it, Mordor? And then I guess we'll run these guys into position, put them onto fire at will as well. Okay, we need to be a little bit careful with that. Okay. Catapults, you don't need to do anything further. You finish off them. They're retreating back to the TC. And yeah, okay, it's these guys. Good. Just milking this really, because this may be one of the only, if Mordor continue to put up poor resistance, this will probably be one of the only times we actually get to see Osgiliath. Where is he? I think that's him, isn't it? Yeah, there he is, looking very crispy. Right then. Over there. And over there. Good.
Our men have taken control of the city.
Slowly but surely whittling them down. Like, they do still have the punch crossbows. They're very slow in comparison to Reforged, though. How long do the Nazgul take to respawn? I've no idea, actually. Interestingly enough. It might be 10 turns? I know that you get them every 10 turns when you play as Mordor. I don't know whether that's like the respawn count as well. I could not say. Right. They can only go after one of these crossbows. Quite frankly, I don't really know what to do with some of these units at this stage. And we also have the potential for these archers to get involved.
We've lost. Our men are in command of the city.
We'll just roll forward with the seaward spears as well. They're just going to sit there in the middle of the TC because they're getting pounded on pretty hard at this point. They might actually go after them. This is the type of content I like to see. One remains. He is actually going to get into melee though, I think. And with how powerful these boys are. Go on. Shoot him down. Point blank. Okay, yeah, that's enough from you. He's going to get some kills there. Go on, shoot him. Execution. Ah.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Anyway. Yeah, look, he's gonna slice and dice his way through. Oh, they killed him. Impressive. Give that man a promotion. Well, that was a rather unnecessary battle to fight, but it was nice to see Osgiliath. And nice to actually see one of the Nazgul. Again, it's to the point now where I kind of want Mordor to push back against me a little bit more. And now, of course, we can transfer a lot of those units that we have in West Osgiliath to the front, because East is still the more likely one to get attacked because it's closer to their production. They could obviously come from Caer Andros to attack the West, but
an honourable, glorious victory. A most noble
occupy.
conquest.
And where have we? Yes, we want that. We don't even need to repair anything because we didn't damage anything. Right then. Let's trade units, shall we? Right. Go there. Oh yes. Right, hold on a second. So, I guess... How much have we got in this army here? Maybe the crossbows would actually be handy, so... Let's say... Any Rosadans. And why not? Why not some Nardu Tariq as well? That wasn't what I wanted to do at all. It really does just... It boggles the mind, this game, sometimes. It really does. Okay, move over there then. Incompetence of laughable proportions. Well, doesn't matter too much, I suppose. Go back over there. I guess the Seaward Spears can go over there as well. Okay.
Yes, my lord.
So, you two. We need a phalanx as well, so you two can go over there. You two get back in there. Okay, so these guys are just hanging out now behind enemy lines. Right, we have... Yeah, you can go in there actually. Bolster our defences just a bit.
Yes, my lord.
Our merchant can continue to move. Calenhad is conspicuously empty. Oh, actually. Yes, indeed. And actually, we could... Well, we don't really need cavalry in that stack, to be fair, but... What I'm thinking is... Yeah, we'll go this way with you. Just sit on that bridge. And Brethil. We've got a lot of units that probably do not need to be here. There's some units here which actually probably do not need to be even raised. Any militia can, at this point, chevrons or no, be stood down, I think. Crossbows can remain, but other than that, move off this way. We can just stay there. Can we... Yep, that's free upkeep for you. Keep moving along there. How good are those Seaward Spearmen? I think they're like Gondor Spearmen. Actually, no, they're better than Gondor. Are they better than Gondor Spears? That's a lot of defense. 27 defense is very high. That's good armor, that is. That's among like the... Like that high 20s is around where the human kingdoms tend to cap off in terms of total defense, so that's pretty damn good. I don't think they're better than my... Yeah, they're not as good as my Naru Na'aru Royal Guard, but they're not that far away. And this is a bit more a restrictive unit to try and train. Not bad at all. Anyway. Right, we've already moved you, haven't we? Yes. There's you. At this point we really don't need this navy here, so gonna move it down here. Could do with hopping across perhaps to reinforce this place. Okay. I think we're being sieged again, aren't we? Yeah, we are. Okay. Let us see what transpires. What is this? No, don't bribe me. No! How dare you? Dorwinian, why? The Vine Lord of Dorwinian, the art of the deal. Aren't Gondor militia stronger than your Rosadan units? No, Gondor militia are stronger than my Azra Zair, certainly. The thing about my Rosadans, though, is they're good for holding the line, because spears are obviously quite defensive. And the halberds, I want them for the phalanx and the AP. Also, if I need the Gondor militia, I'll be able to construct them in Minas Tirith pretty soon. So something like that probably isn't super necessary. Mount Gundabad is besieged. No. There's more rioting there. Thorin's Halls is assaulted, so Ered Luina once again proving to be ever popular. Right, can we actually stop this place from rioting? Low tax? How about low? I cannot change the tax level of the castle. Why, are you like... No, we must... what have we got to... Oh, actually, yeah, we need to repair those, don't we? Right. Ah, yes. So, you... that's not a terrible navy. Not as good as mine, though, but... Right, so we still have you three. And you three need to... disembark, which, have I gone to cliffs? No, that should be a beach. I guess we just don't have any movement. That's fine. Next turn. We're getting there, slowly but surely, and then Gimmelthon will be able to move forwards. Like this. Kill them at once. Finish him off as well. Starting to get a bit of wear and tear on our boats out here, but fortunately we won't need to worry about that for too much longer with 5 Dalgubalaks moving forward. You can repair and construct at the same time. Yeah, but I don't know if it's worth construct. Well, yeah, I guess I'll try. The intention is to not let that... Mordor are not near here anyway, so I mean it's not as if they're going to spoil everything. Right, we'll move you in there. We'll pick you up with Gimmelthon on the way through. Yeah, there really is not much else to say at this stage. Right. You go into the fort. You... I'm not entirely sure where you are actually going to go. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll move you back here for now. Can we leave? We can actually, and that improves population growth. So you are going to move forward and probably head up an army of like this, basically. And maybe try and take Calenhad. And then we have like a bit of a buffer against Mordor coming back this way. What is this? 70 gold coins. I always thought halberds were useless in DAC because their animation is similar to the Axeman. Yeah, I've noticed that as well, but the armor piercing is undeniably a useful facet of their function, because of the prevalence of armour in this game. So, no, not diplomacy, what am I doing? Yes, this. So, Anzul What was east again? Is it Anzil or Anzul? I think it's Anzil, isn't it? Send your merchant to Bree. It'd probably take him too long to get there at this point. Like, the campaign is apparently in its closing stages. I mean, Mordor have got full stacks running around, but they refuse to attack me. And then they move them off somewhere else, leaving me wide open to take their things. I've already got a merchant up in Bree, though, Jurgen. And he is making me good money. So that is certainly true. Right, can we build anything else in Methrust? Is there anything useful to be had? Right, well, I guess, considering how we've learnt that they are actually amazingly good in terms of survivability, we will build another unit of them. I guess a unit of Gondor infantry as well. Why not? I mean, we may as well at this stage. Can't build anything of use there. Anulond is still just apparently a hovel. Is there anything we can do to bolster that? I mean, a bazaar would perhaps be useful. Okay. It's going to go much the same way as last time for them, I fear. Okay, in terms of building stuff, I don't really think much else needs to be done. Is there anything we can build in our capital that's working well? I mean, Grand Bazaar. Catapult maker? No, it's really just this, isn't it? Why not? We'll build it. It's probably the only place on the map we're going to build something like that. Yeah. Let's see if Mordor actually do come for us. Even Minas Morgul is looking empty. What's your faction ranking at the moment? Good question. We are... I've no idea. Well, where's Mordor? Because Mordor are still stronger than us, apparently, but I assume that's because of the huge economic might that this area gives them, and the fact that they probably have this area up here on lockdown as well, but... Interesting. Why are Seaward Spearmen so good? That's like Citadel Guard level stats. Perhaps the one you checked out. I mean, it does, yeah, but all of my Seaward Spearmen have got armour upgrades, though, Val. Because I trained them all in Methrust and Can Gimmelzor, which are areas that have, like, the highest level of blacksmiths I can build. Can Gimmelzor's got the Numenorian Foundry as well, so it's like the advanced blacksmith for me. Right, anyway. Well then. Nothing else really to be done. They could attack this fort, I suppose, but I really don't care if they do. It was only meant to be a stopgap for Gimmelcard to move forward. We do have this area here, though, which probably would benefit from some... Ooh. Yes. Oh yeah, I forgot to move the ships. Never mind. Hey there, your enemy's friend. We have moved forward. We have claimed the entirety of Osgiliath. I'm surprised to see no crusades called on me yet, no invasions. More troops coming down through that area. Like I said, Enidwaith have unironically been more... Maybe Mordor are at war with tons of people at this point. Maybe Dorwinion have finished off Rune and they're attacking from the north. They're still trying to do things in the Calanardon. And then there's me, but like I really am the biggest problem that they have at the moment. Because I'm just ripping through such a lucrative part of the map. A suitable husband. Sure. Construction reports. That's a lot of things, which is nice. War declared between Canned and Dorwinian. Yeah, it must be Dorwinian, surely. Right? Where are Mordor? Oh yeah, they're at war with a lot of people. They're at war with Lothlorien as well, so maybe Lothlorien are pushing on them. It's going very poorly for them though. Harad are not going to want to ally with them, which that was a problem. That was a thing that I thought would actually happen. I thought Harad might.
Your orders, my lord.
Right, you go over there.
Yes.
You head up to Saralond,
Your
because
orders, my lord.
you
Yes,
can then start heading down here. Very cheerful looking gentleman. And
Your
you
orders, my lord.
head over to Kalembel. You are right next to the place you need to be. Right then. You, I guess, just wait there outside the city. And
Yes, my lord.
now we can start to head out down this way. Things can start to happen for him. Good to see Númenorian uncle showing Gondorian cousins how it's done. Right, 5 turns until surrender, yeah, which is fine. That's a brutal settlement to take as well. That's the best kind of castle. Still got a catapult building there. Right, do we have any troublemakers? Does not look like it. God, this is such a mighty fleet as well. We've got units ready and waiting. Actually got another unit of Nardubawib, which will be ready just about in time. Possibly not, but yeah, we can wait a couple of turns. More Nardubawib is definitely nice. Sad that we can't get more Baruthiel's Watch, but they take so long to... they seemingly take so long to replenish.
Your orders.
Right, yes, you. Get in there.
We're combining forces.
We have... I mean, there is... Again, there's just nothing here, is there? I think there is a town over here that we could possibly take, but I don't really want a bigger border with Canned than I absolutely have to. So, Ostithiel will be Gimmelthon's first target. As soon as Gimmelthon is here and we're pushing up from this way, we'll start to try and swamp over them, I think. Right, we should probably build a barracks of True Sons so that money doesn't become an issue. The Arnor Stone.
Yes, my lord.
And that, I think, is going to be that. Again, it's just a case of slow and steady wins the race. Actually, you can head over here, because in terms of combat, there's no way that Enedwaith can deal with that. Probably transfer all of the boats that I can over there as well.
Blocking access to their port.
And yeah, that's, again, that is it, isn't it? I guess we'll build another one singular unit down here, just in case Harad do decide to turn on us at the drop of a hat, which is still possible, I suppose. But no, this is not what we need to be doing, lads. What we need to be doing is improving the perception of ourselves in these lands. And then we will...
My lord.
At your service.
Right, where are the horse pastures? Because they are usually... Oh, they're terrible. I've seen them in campaigns before be actually pretty good. But I mean, I guess we'll head up this way anyway. Be interesting to see what Mordor's doing. The guy we've got in Western Arminoleth. Technically, Ar-Adunaim aren't dark yet, right? Well, they're the they followed Ar-Pharazon, and they know about Ar-Pharazon's voyage to, well, his doomed voyage, essentially. That tells me that they probably are, because of what Ar-Pharazon was up to leading up to that voyage. You know, like the nabbing people from their homes and burning them. That was the Witch King, I saw him. Also, the fact that their cultural buildings are all sort of like dark related tells me that they are sort of on board with the whole Melkor thing. Right, so the Witch King is like somewhere around here now. Large Bazaar, Irrigation, Dark Sanctuary. Right, you should start to feel a little bit more happy about us. We'll build an armory just in case you don't. Right then. Ah, you've made a terrible error in judgment. Go this way.
Your orders, my lord.
Oh, so close. They're probably going to try and attack him actually, but no matter. 4 turns until surrender. You
Yes, my lord.
in there. They're happy, they're happy. Saruland actually could do with upgrading. So we shall. Wait a minute. Kings, yeah, we need more kings, man. More culture is required. They really are intent on sieging us down, aren't they? Which is having a detrimental impact on the manpower we have there. Oh well.
Ships ready. Taking
No, that's not what I wanted to do.
Your orders.
Okay, so we need to stay here essentially for another turn, but yeah, all of this stuff can join his army. A few crossbows, some halberds, and then yeah, some decent stuff in there for us as well, including more Nadabaweeb. And I think, unless I'm very much mistaken, yeah, there's more stuff here that we want to utilise for that. You get back in there. Okay. Elven bias is too strong. By the way, just a random question. Is your Naru Royal Guard stronger than Celeborn's bodyguard in melee? I don't think it is. I can't remember what Celeborn's bodyguard stats were in melee, but I know for... I think it was like... I think they had like 34 or 35 defense. Didn't they? And I think Elven units as well tend to do more damage as well. Like the Naru Royal Guard are... Where are they? Here's a unit of them. Yeah, like 11 attack is actually really good for a spear unit. But then they are like the most elite unit of infantry I can make. But yeah, I don't think... I mean, bear in mind, this is just the bog standard Royal Guard. We could upgrade the armour, and then maybe they would be a closer match. Right, you.
Yes, my lord.
Let's go up here. We actually don't have the ability to attack it immediately.
As you command,
But that's not a problem.
we shall prevail. Yes.
We shall siege Calenhad. Interesting to see if they actually come out to try and meet us. If they do, then they've abandoned Caer Andros, and I will jump all over that. So they are quite welcome. Wonder where Mordor... I mean, I think Mordor's have got Doom stacks that spawn, right? So that probably will be like the final...
Ships ready.
moment of potential worry. What have we got here? You two, I think, can actually start heading up this way, because we might need a little bit of support going up there. Get a couple more raiders as well. Still can't build anything else there. That is as good as it's going to get. I always feel like there should be something else I should be doing, but there really isn't at this point. We have plumbed the depths of what is technically possible. Right, we'll get a bit more upkeep. This is, yeah, that's more efficient. Yeah, but it's part of like it. The Barrio Engelaith are like. There's a very real possibility that it's a one-of-a-kind unit in a campaign. So it does make sense. I think like the Gil-galad's company are ridiculous as well. Like they're like pound for pound probably the best infantry unit outside of like Sauron. But that is of course again a special case because it is an entirely unique.
If only I could, without question.
That fort is empty, which is the it's the Ithilien fort, isn't it, that the Rangers use? That one. Okay. That'll do for now. We're really just waiting for Gimmelthon to arrive on the front line so that we can push forward with a little bit more efficiency. The High Elves. Yeah, the High Elves like, have just got the best unit in class, I think, just generally. Possibly the exception to that is Shock Infantry, because like the Noldor veterans are really, really good, but like other factions have got really good examples of that as well. What is it? Oh yeah, that's that. Okay. Abandon your posts. Flee for your lives. Oh, this poor man. Looks like we need another general after all. Yeah, he's dead. Oh no, he's alive. Oh well, then who cares? That was pointless. Peace with Rohan? I'm not at war with Rohan, your enemy's friend. There's the Witch King. He's just scooting on through, not paying any heed to what's going on over here. If we have a border with Rohan, I get the feeling they would probably declare war on me, because Enidwaith are their allies and I'm untrustworthy and no one likes me. They shouldn't, because I'm practically saving the world here, even if it is through questionable means. Baggage train lost. Death stalks the land in Gabel Merlond. There's rioting in Tarnost. Why is there rioting in Tarnost? What is your problem, my friends? It's because you're on military build policy. You're still not satisfied. We'll get a Barracks of True Sons in there. That's probably what it is. We don't really have anything that we can move over too quickly to you either. A fine day to sail indeed. Right, so we have room for... Honestly, we could probably do with dumping some of these units when we get a bit closer to the front line, but we'll handle that when... We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So yeah, 2 less than a full line, which is pretty much exactly what we have outside of the Azrazair Raiders. So you get on board. That is a full army. So we'll start heading up. This city here has got some units that we want, specifically the Narduzagar. Probably a unit of pikes wouldn't be too bad a call either.
We shall engage.
Right, let's see what we got to deal with here. Have you started the Mordor invasion? Yep. We have indeed. Easy enough. Calenhad is not meant to be a moneymaker for us, it's just meant to be a fortress, so we will exterminate the populace. That gives us a ton of visibility as well because of all the watchtowers in this developed part of the world. And yeah, go for a Dark Sanctuary. Caer Andros actually does have an army in it. Leofric the Bowed. He is, I think, a unit of Temple Marksmen, if I'm not mistaken. So we will probably get Gimil Zor to handle him. We could do with another general on the front line at this stage. Is there anything we have? I mean, I guess we got this guy that we could move on, but not yet because Tirithoros will just rebel. Okay. Other than that, we have... You're not going this way?
Yes, my lord.
There we go. Hopping in when you weren't looking. What are you going to do now? Nothing, that's what. Right, killed him.
Engaging the enemy fleet. Ships ready. Breaking from the fleet.
Right, let's... Can we... I don't think we can disband you. Can we? Yeah, we can, okay. We don't need you anymore, I'm afraid, my admiral friend.
Yes, sir. Ships ready.
You can just keep blockading that port, I guess. And you will be our battle fleet.
Ships ready.
And that is... Ah, actually...
Your orders, my lord.
Marvellous. We do have another general which we can use to good effect. Start heading off this way.
Shall continue tomorrow.
The good old days when Legolas's units would get thousands of kills every battle. Right, we'll go for some economy buildings, because this area of the map actually isn't all that well developed, which is kind of surprising, I guess. Well, actually, we don't want a conscription camp here anymore, because that will destroy... That's probably why our public order randomly goes into... Right, yeah, we'll go for that, because that'll help with health. Fanolond, market, get some trade going in this part of the world. Yeah. And I think at this point we've got some good stuff going on there. Still building something there. We could do with another building here, specifically an armory. And Tirithoros is still getting built. Okay. Pelagia is not making a lot of money, but I guess that's because, again, it was just poorly... Well, I killed all the population as well. That's why I think Rangers in Reforged aren't that strong, because they only have 4 missile damage. The Hini Dower has 12. For Dak, though, it's the balancing concerns are different. A human player can utilise Rangers as they are in Reforged to really good effect. What are they doing? I mean, they've abandoned Caer Andros, so I mean, I guess I'm going to swoop in and take that from them. Something tells me, yeah, Sauron should be sweating now, because his army is... They're like laying... They're just like putting out the red carpet for me, practically. Ah, good. Invasion called. On Erebor?
His war on his country will come swiftly.
Okay. Well, sure. I thought that was going to be an invasion on me then, but no. It's going to be on Erebor. Across... On the other side of the world, apparently, is where Sauron's like, no, this is where we need to be focusing. But sir, what about the army that's right outside Mordor? No, we don't need to worry about that. The stacks of Orc Raiders that we have will deal with them. Truly a perplexing choice. Mordor seems to have... They really are struggling a little bit here, aren't they? Right. So I think then... Tariq Gimmelcard. Public order is fairly key. So we will... go with that. That helps us with defense as well, after all. And... honestly, I think we roll out with the whole army and put something else in here from West Osgiliath, to be honest.
Yes, my lord.
As you command, we shall...
It's not even unhappy. Again, they've left their general behind. He's the only one here. Well, we did it before, so we'll do it again. We'll fight it on the battle map. Because this might be, again, we haven't seen Leofric yet. I think he's Temple Marksman, so he is actually... It would have been more efficient to not fight the fight, but at this point I'm not really that bothered about efficiency. Because Mordor just, they're not... They've lost their minds. And we can deal with him, I think, without too many problems. He himself is probably a pretty tough target, so we will... I guess we could try and do what we normally do and just shoot the Nazgul with artillery until they die, but we will endeavour not to do that this time. Yeah, that's it. Probably just mob him with a bunch of infantry. The Gondorians who have joined our cause are probably very happy about the chance to punish the Nazgul in this manner. Right. Ooh. Just before we forget, you should be moving backwards as well. I think they are actually arrow towers, so we should probably shoot them down. And he's leaving. Oh no, he is Temple Marksman. He's got the arrows on his back. Send Gimmelzor to fight him one-on-one. He'll probably lose that fight though, Val. Because, I mean, well, I say that, I mean, he's monstrously strong at this point, Gimmelzor. But we are talking about Nazgul here. The kind of foes that... I'll tell you what, one of these should probably be shooting the gate first. Let's get a little bit closer. God, that's not a lot of damage on that tower, is it? I guess we just shoot them there. Shoot the gate down first and then see what we can do against the towers. So Gimmelzor, the Narun Aru, and all of our line infantry will go in.
Breach the enemy's walls.
It's true, Val, but it's one of those things where you're putting your fate in the hands of RNG. I'll do it though, because maybe not one-on-one. There's also the fact that the Temple Marksman will shoot him on the approach and their armor-piercing arrows, so... Right. And he does have an armor upgrade, a weapons upgrade, full gold chevrons as you would expect. He himself is like a... He's the one with 2 curved scimitars on his back, isn't he, Gimmelzor? No, he's the one with a golden longsword on his back and he wields 2 scimitars, which is pretty cool. Right, hold. Probably going to blow away some of our own men. Yeah, those are tough towers. This is a nice place. I remember when we fought on this battle map in the Lorien campaign towards the end, it was snowy at the time. I like this as well, in comparison to like the old Caer Andros map, where you've got this keep at the top here. It's a nice map though. It could be still utilised as Caer Andros. I mean, technically speaking, this Caer Andros map it has like the central island still of the Reforged version, but on the Reforged obviously it's much more of a city on this island, and the whole map is considered part of it, whereas in DAC this is really the
enemy's walls belong to us now.
They don't seem to be shooting. Oh no, we are getting shot. Oh no, we're getting shot by them, that's why. And you shall go over here. I think the only human swords unit that's better than the Ar-Adunaim armsman is the Grey Company. That makes sense. The Grey Company is also completely unique to Aragorn, isn't it? Whereas the armsman you can train more so. But you'd expect that from the Black Numenorians. Like, heavy infantry is what they're all about after all, so you would hope that this is where they really earn their stripes. With a bulky infantry unit such as this. We're taking some losses on these boys, but... Right, just stop them from firing. The Gondorians, I think, have earned their revenge here. And Gimmelzor, of course, not one to shy away from a bit of glory. Gonna get in here as well. I don't think the battle cry is going to do much to temple units, but may as well use it. There's Gimmelzor. Leofric the Bowed is there. Easy enough to see him.
Victory will be ours.
Varying levels of Gondorian upgrades here as well. You can see just the one level of upgrade on one of these infantrymen. And then the full level over here. They're trying to shoot at point blank.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Not sure if they are stronger than the dismounted Knights of Illuminous, Warns of the White Tower and Talon Knights, but they're about the same level. Interesting thing to find out. Yeah, they're getting massacred, aren't they? Leofric's going to be the last one there. You can see him, I think, actually. He's still got a couple of them there with him, but he's getting... I mean, he's also up against Ar-Adunaim Armsmen, which is bad for him. I don't know if they're not... I don't know if you can make generals specifically relentless so that they don't get staggered. But if you can, I would imagine that would be the case with him. There's still 7 of them left alive, apparently. Surrounded on all sides as they are. I really like the upgraded model for the Ar-Adunaim, I have to say. The sort of spectacle helms combined with the sort of Roman aesthetic, with the chain underneath them and like the dark metal. It really works for me. And I like the Nardu Tariq in general. I'm a big fan of the armour-piercing line infantry because they're such a dependable thing to have on the front line against most factions. Gimmelzor is, I think, stuck behind a bunch of his men, so he's not going to be able to get in there. Yeah, there he is, look. Just waiting.
Good tidings.
There he goes.
The general lies dead. Be awed by the victory we have won here
That'll
today.
build some brotherly bonds between the Black Numenorians and the Gondorians they now rule over. 42 is probably about right, to be fair. Probably didn't gain or lose anything in terms of kills by fighting that manually. I hear as well that there is talk of... They've got 1 unit slot left in DAC, apparently. And the unit they're thinking of filling it with is Spiders for Dol Guldur. Which would be cool, I think. Dol Guldur already, actually, having a look at their roster, is like, fairly interesting as far as orcs go. I think that would make them quite a desirable faction to actually play as. Right, we shall repair. And we shall construct. Only 1 turn for that, so we may as well get some culture on the go. Right, do we have anything we can actually move into Tariq Gimmelcad immediately? I guess we just send some units back. Let's send some cav back. Can we? No? Am I not allowed? Minas Tirith has got a remarkably small... There it is. Hang on a minute, why are they unhappy now? They should be thrilled, because I'm garrisoning them with their own brethren from the south. I guess 1 ballista as well. Again, they're not happy. because of military build policy again. Truly the bane of my existence. Actually, you know what? I could probably send back some... Ooh, they found me. No.
We should retreat. We'll make camp here. Your will,
A foul ambush. Okay, well... You... Now that the ambush has been sprung, we can wriggle through. Right, Care Andros. What can we call this? That is a good question, isn't it? We'll think about that for next time, I suppose, because we are coming towards the end of the stream now anyway. But if anyone has any suggestions for what we could rename Care Andros, please do. I think we're just about done here. Ah, we haven't moved you just yet. No, we shall just wait. Added reinforcements. How long do we have? 2 turns until surrender. They are really just going to sit here and siege us out entirely. That is so awkward of them. I mean, we can fight them on the field if needs be, but it doesn't make it any less frustrating. Okay. Hopefully they actually fight next turn. Mordor's doorbell. I mean, surely that would be like Minas Morgul or Cirith Ungol. Right then. I don't think they can have 2 invasions active at once, can they? So I mean, by invading Erebor, they've made it safe for me to assume that we're not going to get invaded, basically. Poor Erebor, though. They did really poorly last campaign. They've been doing quite well this time, but an invasion it shall be. What about Island of the Stars, since apparently Numenorians have a thing for everything stars? Yeah, apparently so. That would be Gimil something, wouldn't it? I don't know what the name for island is in Numenorian. I don't care that much.
We should withdraw.
Gondor's doorbell. There are a few names that I've got in mind. I've got a name in mind for Barad-dûr already, but more on that when we come to the end of the campaign, essentially. Prisoners released. Death stalks the land in Merlond. No one cares about Merlond. Oh man, look at that cash. Erebor are now fighting everyone because of the thing. Why? Harad now. Harad. You and me. Friends till the end? Question mark. I mean, at this point I actually feel like, considering we've got these units here that we could absolutely use against Harad, I'm not that, like, to be brutally honest, I couldn't care less about them. But right, yes, we have, right, we want at least an Arduzagar. What have we actually got in here? Yeah, cavalry I don't think is actually going to be that big of a deal for him, so we'll get you, and then we'll continue to sail up. Right, so yeah, they're not going to they're not going to play ball, are they? Taking a lot of attrition, to be fair, there as well. Right, well, what is this? Trash is what it is. I wonder, actually. I wonder if we
shall engage.
kill off Anidwai. in as much as we can. Public baths. Will you
My lord,
accept peace, I wonder?
this had best be worth our time.
Give you trade, give you some map information, and I'll make a payment. I mean, I'm not going to spend this money really any other way. How about 20,000 coins?
I do not believe I'm
Okay.
able to accept.
Well, suit yourself, then.
Very well.
So you have chosen death. Right, we're going to need to
Yes.
sally out, aren't we? Awkward battle, this one. Right, we'll save it here. Losing this battle would actually make the campaign a little bit more awkward, because it means I'd have to build an army that would repel Enedwaith as well. But yeah, this is going to be the last action of the stream, pretty much, this
Muster your courage, men.
battle against the Enedwaithians, who have unironically been... I mean, it's not so much their trash, Val, it's more the fact that they're fragile.
The tide of battle seems to have turned against us.
The tide of battle.
Halt this turn of events.
I mean, they're technically stronger than we are, so maybe. They probably won't, because the AI do tend to literally run away immediately. But we'll see. We may as well just start the battle immediately to be... Oh, yeah, they're running. They are leaving the battlefield. It's going to be a slightly awkward battle to fight, because they've got cavalry, they've got numbers, they're going to have the hill. All that stuff. Okay. Let's just form up outside. We don't have that much in terms of archers either. We've got 3, well, technically 5 archers. Really does kind of depend on whether or not they allow us to actually utilise these, though. But even Azra Zaire archers are going to be useful against a faction with limited defence like Enedwaith. Targeting down those swordsmen. Melee, we've taken a lot of attrition because of the siege on some of these units, but we still have tough units for the front line. The Ar-Adunaim in particular I'll be looking at to do the business here. Imagine if I lose. I mean, I may very well lose. It's not an easy battle, this at all. To be honest, though, even if I do lose, I'm not that fussed about it, because it will give us another avenue to try and build up a force. And to be fair, the force we've got in Anulond could probably come up here and retake it immediately. But obviously, in much the same way as the other battle we fought against Enedwaith earlier, it would be much more convenient for the campaign as a whole if we did win it. They might even take peace after this, because this is a decent stack of theirs. But I'm not sure if I even want to give them peace at this point. Don't want anyone to get tired, so we will just wait. Probably going to actually, if we meet up with them out here in the open plain, over this way. Are they retreating? Yeah, because I've had to sally out because they were just going to siege me down until surrender. But if we can, we'll probably just try and move up this hill over here. They're right on the red line with some of these units, but if we can claim this area, if we can claim a position where our formation can hold, I don't really have... I think we'll be fine. If, however, it becomes a little bit more chaotic, I think we'll probably lose. If it comes to pure melee, your Ar-Adunaim might lose against their best units. Possibly. But I mean, that's just something we're going to have, that's a risk we're going to have to take at this point. Because we don't want them to just pepper us with javelins. We'll definitely lose if that's the case. What if you paid Breland to attack Enedwaith? Bree are already at war with Enedwaith. think Bree are at war with Dunland and Enidwaith. Enidwaith are at war with Dunland and Bree. But there doesn't seem to be much movement in that regard, right? So first things first, let's get an archer corps sorted out. All of our most basic units. Right. A reasonable front line will be... I mean, the Territorial Guardsmen will probably struggle because, again, we're talking about early game units, but they're also a unit I don't mind taking the brunt of javelin fire. I was thinking about paying Harad to attack Cannes, to be honest with you, because I think the more time that passes, Harad are looking at us more and more like a target. But it gives us a use for the units we've got down in Umbar, to be honest, which are at the moment sat there doing precisely nothing. And then just non-cavalry, non-anti-cavalry units. I don't think we want you direct, or do we want you on the front line actually? Probably become a magnet for all of their javelin fire. With the gold armour upgrade, the Territorial Guardsmen are pretty tough, especially in shield wall formation. Shield wall is... we probably need a little bit of movement though, so I don't think shield wall is going to be all that helpful for us here. It is in castles, but yeah, they just need to be on the front line holding things down. But again, even a unit as poor as the Azra archers have got a use in a situation like this. Okay, yeah, that's all of our archers, so they are there. Okay, yeah, the spears can go over there, I guess. The Rosadans. With gold upgrades, you are all already organised. Javelin boys. And halberdiers. Right. Okay. So this is just, again, slowly and surely. Got much more... last time we fought Enidwaith, it was more just my own attention to detail that was causing this, but this time around we actually do have a reason for being cautious. Right, so yeah, we want you on the front line. Yeah, they outnumber me and they try to claim the high ground, but I mean, if we can get this little area over here without them responding to me with their cav, I do feel fairly confident that we can make something happen. And even if we don't, they'll take a lot of damage. Gives us a target as well. I wouldn't fancy trying to retake this settlement on the battle map. Campaign map, auto-resolve. Are they going to... okay, well, they're reorganising themselves, so let's move you to there. Move you over to here. What is that? Foresters. That is... I mean, it sounds like an impressive unit. Let's have a little look at them. Do they actually clad themselves in metal? An archer unit. Okay. Start trudging your way up there. Put you on the red line so you can't be easily sniped. Where be the archers? Right. Sending just the one unit of archers forward. I'm surprised the whole army isn't shifting its position yet. Guess I'm thinking about it now. Now they're leaving. We've just got more volume of fire over here. But we could do with a slightly better firing position, I would say. So move into there. And they thought they could claim the high ground, but they are going to be mistaken. Edward hates your guts because you keep cutting down their trees. They won't accept peace. Oh yeah, that's a good point, isn't it? Lore-wise, I guess that is a reason for Enidwaith to despise us, but you know, I think first thing we do when we capture some Enidwaith towns is we're going to be setting up some logging camps. Get a full operation on the go. There we go, we've got plenty of ammunition for doing this as well. I wonder if, do we have range on them? We do. And this is a more important part of their army, I think, than mine. I mean, I was always going to be slightly reliant on my archers to do a bit of damage because of Enidwaith's really lower armour values. Exactly, your enemy's friend. Like, I'm more than willing to be reasonable, but again, it's like that Gondorian town that rebelled. So we're even in terms of kills, which, I mean, as soon as it gets down to brass tacks in melee is when I'm actually quite interested. What are they doing? They're going to try and claim the town? That would be an interesting move, because they could. The gates lay open. The town centre is there. Right, okay. At this stage, we have you go after the Grey Flood Horsemen. So can you. And actually we want to get the spears as close as we can without interrupting the archers, so that we can quickly move them forward when the time is right. We've also got our own javelin boys that we can use. It would be a very specific script, that though, Val, wouldn't it? Really? Okay, get some territorial guardsmen in there now. Send them in. Be interesting if they do try and take that. I mean, to be fair, like, we've got... Yeah, let's just get the spears in front. Yeah, just shoot at those Grey Floods. Okay. Yeah, I like this. Okay. At this point, actually, and you move up along the flank. Yeah, we're in a good place now, I think. Are we under attack? Right, Minhiriath warriors we should be looking at trying to deal with. Right. Let's get them in. River Elders. It's a little bit concerning, but River Elders. Yeah, there we go, look. Javelins. You get over here and deal with the horsemen. You jump on them. Don't care about the raiders so much. You shoot at them. Starting to run dry on ammo supply for some of these. So let's charge forwards. War chanters, eh? I don't know if we have quite... Well, there goes a general. Right. No. Alright, we have our boy, who is on the front line, dealing with them. Actually, you know what, we need to get you off the front line now. Get some Narduzagar, who should be pretty good at dealing with some of these. Pull back, because we definitely need archers to do their thing still, as and where they are able. Yeah, shoot into them. They're leaving, so you can go into there. Yeah, the halberdier front line is... They don't really have too much of an answer for the halberds. Where are you then? Actually, no, you go down there, yeah. Our general is in a little bit of bother here, but with the assistance of the Narduzagar, he should be okay. I mean, we'll win over there. He might not be okay, of course. He might die horribly and in vain, but let's get you in there. Right, you're out of ammo now, so you charge in. I like the Enidwaith horns. They sound quite appropriate. Hopefully the fact that our general's still alive is going to make a difference. There we go. Right, yeah, we need to get some...
Only half the enemy force remains.
Let's get some units up there. Azrazair Marines, we're gonna win, I think, because at this point in time, yeah, you go after the river archers actually. Yeah, like their units are just not beefy enough, really, are they? And the loss of their general has been fairly crippling for them. There we go. Yeah, I guess you go off this way then. Marvellous. I could probably do with some more units in there. You go over there. Minhiriath warriors. Now we're doing our thing.
The battle seems to be swinging in our favour. From such tidings does victory emerge.
Seems to be, yes, doesn't it?
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Well done. I can't quite remember what your name was, but fair play. Enidwaith's morale when they lose their general is also pretty shocking. I guess you'd expect that from an unorganised force like theirs. Yeah, we definitely need to get some more reinforcements up here though. Just some high quality troops, and then I wouldn't feel bad about sallying out and doing this on a more regular basis. Right, turn around and meet them. The Minhiriath warriors are actually looking like they could win. Make sure that these boys can't come back. Go into them. Yeah, they're going to rout off the field, aren't they? So at this stage we may as well go after something that's already routing. So yeah, the Minhiriath warriors are doing quite well for themselves, but that's because they're mostly fighting skirmishers. They're a pretty good looking unit actually as well. I mean, not in terms of like armament, of course, or armour. Very much savages of the woods, but nice two-handed swordsmen, carving their way through units that are ill-equipped to deal with them. Right. Yeah, get up this way. Get some proper units in there to do the business. We've just been holding the line with any old garbage. You should get a unit of cavalry like the Amarothian squires. Yeah, you're quite correct. Even if it's just Gondor militia cavalry. But yeah, look, the Ar-Adunaim and the halberds were what won us this. Like our basic units. To be fair, the spears haven't done that bad. Territorial guardsmen. Reasonably tough. Hey look, war chanters. Didn't realise they were still there. Deal with them with some halberds. Marvellous. And I don't think there's anything. Oh wait, yeah. There's Foresters of Haleth that have reformed. Got to run, mate. Well, yeah, this is the last action of the stream anyway, Calvin, so you won't be missing too much. Really just the preamble for what's going to be happening over the weekend. In terms of video release. There we go. Victory. And yeah. This is going to be the end of days for the Enid-White, well, for this Enid-White army. I'm sure another one will be here momentarily. Okay then. By all the signs, Captain Shagrat, I'd say there's a large warrior loose. Elf, most likely, with an elf sword anyway. And an axe as well, maybe. Yeah, you will be executed. Right. And you can go into there now. And yeah, we'll save it there, and we'll sort of do the admin and such next time, because it'll give us a nice preamble. And we will also have a look, because now of course we have the Palantir, we can do this without really feeling as though we're cheating too much. Well, I mean, this is what Mordor are doing. I mean, even here though, Mordor are going to start losing ground fairly quickly, I would imagine. Because they don't have that much here. They've already toggled some of these armies to go as part of the invasion to Erebor. Can you check the individual unit kills? Yeah, I will do that, Val. I think it's more just a case of eagerness to get on with the turn and sort of sort everything out. The reason why I keep forgetting to do that. But yeah, Rohan are going to be just fine, I think. Who's their king, by the way? Because this is their king. Eomer's still alive and he's their king. How about that? We can be friends, Eomer. You and me. Dorwinion are... they are fighting against Mordor, but there's nothing really here either. So where is Mordor's stuff? Where actually is their strength? It's nowhere is where it is. I mean, I guess there's a few full stacks roaming around in the Rovanian. But other than that, I have to say, like, yeah, I guess most of it is up here, but the Woodland Realm are here now at this point. Dol Guldur is still alive and has got a single full stack basically defending their land. Mordor are pushing on to Lothlorien as well. Yeah, I think Mordor's problem is they've just got too many enemies at this point. They're fighting on so many fronts, and my betrayal has been really rather stinging for them, hasn't it? Enidwaith, however, are doing quite well here now, though. They really are sort of resurgent against Bree, which is probably why they're proving to be such an issue for me, to be honest, because they have the economic might now to actually come and give some... I mean, unironically, Enidwaith may very well prove to be the bigger problem than Mordor, because at least with Mordor we know, like, we've got so many stacks prepared to move on Mordor that, I mean, I think at this stage we could actually get away with just moving forward with Gimmelcard, taking Minas Morgul next time, taking Cirith Ungol. Next time could very well prove to be the finale, depending on how I'm feeling, and depending... It's not a betrayal since Sauron murdered Ar-Pharazon with a borrowed knife. It's true, it's just... we're just evening the odds. Next time, depending on how much time I'm able to set aside on the Wednesday, we could aim for the next episode to be the finale of the campaign. Because just looking at this, there's nothing really stopping us from just marching right on in and claiming Barad-dûr. Mordor can assemble stacks very quickly, to be fair. But damn. The AI don't understand how to fight on multiple fronts. I think that is why Isengard... Well, to be fair to Isengard, like, they did a better job than Mordor's doing now. Isengard at least were fighting over here in the last campaign. Like, doing bits. And they were at least... They were putting up resistance, serious resistance to me as well. It was with broken stacks. But it was with, like, full stacks that had, like, damaged units. And there was crossbows, there was Uruk-hai infantry, there was pikes. They were a hard cookie. This time, however... I mean, it might be within the best interest of the campaign if Harad decided to attack me, because this is no joke. Warlord... That's the faction heir. Warlord Khaldun, Conqueror of Khand. I mean, they hold the Khandish capital, so I guess like they hold Khan's capital and I hold theirs, which is rather fun. But yes, that is the state of the world, and just based on that, based on a quick look into the Palantir, I think Gimmelkard is emboldened. Harad's armies are trash, though not necessarily, Val. I think if we just have a quick look at some of these, yeah, look, they've got some Hashari Shadows, which are a very good archer unit. They've got, I mean, it's mainly the cavalry here that I would be more concerned with, to be fair. Most of it's like the serpent units are good, but yeah, on foot you're quite correct. And to be fair, if they attack me, they can throw themselves against the walls of Kadar Farazindil and not really achieve much at all.
Our alliance shall stand
Some trollmen, yeah. I mean, we're still allies, so they do need to break the alliance first before they do anything. So yeah, that is going to be the end of the stream. So just a quick heads up about what's going to be happening over the weekend. There is going to be a sort of Halloween themed battle on Saturday that was sent to me by Matt Bond, which is, you'll know why why I chose to release it on Halloween when it comes out, but it's going to be it's on Silmarillion, because in Silmarillion they have been able to, on a temporary basis, basically put some undead units into the game. So sort of like Oathbreaker type units, and they were used for like a few Halloween themed battles, of which I have one. And it's going to be sort of an elves defending against like hordes of the undead. So that should be quite good. I can't actually remember what the one after that is on Monday, because I've sort of scheduled everything in such a way that I'm not entirely sure. It might be a Siege of Lond-Dare, or it's a Siege of Bersergath. It's one of those two, I think. I think it might be Lond-Dare though, so like a port siege essentially. Good versus evil as well, with good on the defense and evil on the attack. So I think that's what's going to be coming up over the course of the weekend. And yeah, next week, depending on what day I'm going out on the boat, will depend on what day the stream happens. But keep an eye on the YouTube page, because it could very well be that the stream happens on Tuesday, depending on the weather. But based on the primary plan for when the boat is meant to be leaving the jetty, the stream should be Wednesday and Thursday again next week. But yeah, other than that, nothing else really to add. It's been quite a successful stream against Mordor this time around. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you'll join me for whatever is next.